Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's section matchup between the North Branch Vikings and the Rock Ridge Wolverines. My name is Mac Nelson, and I'm here in the North Branch barn today. Tonight we have a doubleheader going on tonight. So the girls will play first against Rock Ridge, and then following them, the boys will play against Duluth Denfield. So after the girls' game, don't go anywhere, because we've got another exciting game of basketball tonight. So taking a look at these two teams here, this is a section game, and looking at their records and such, Rock Ridge has played 0 section games so far, but they are overall 2-0, and North Branch has played 2 section games and are 1-1, and overall they are 2-2. So if we take a look at North Branch here, and we look at their record. So their first game was against Bram, and they ended up losing 61-47. And then they played Duluth Denfield, and they won 64-16. After that, they played Two Rivers and took the win by 2 points. So that was a close matchup there. And then they played Hermantown and lost 65-52. Now, if we switch over and take a look at Rock Ridge here, for their 2-0 overall, they played Esco and won 82-48, and then they played Cromwell Wright and won 71-50. So that's a little bit about these two teams, and it's going to be an exciting matchup here tonight, I think. I covered the game against Bram with Adam Hefty here, and North Branch is a good-looking team to be playing out there. So I don't know much about Rock Ridge, but hopefully we have an exciting matchup for you tonight. While we get waiting for tip-off here tonight, let's take a listen to some words from a couple of our fine sponsors.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare, information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Go online to pine.edu for more information. Pine Technical and Community College, connect with success.
Whoa! They've got what you need at the Pine City Freeway Holiday Station Store. Right now, load up on deals like Heggy's Pizza, 2 for $16 with a new breakfast pizza available. Starbucks Frappuccinos are 2 for $7. Buy a fountain drink and get a Reese's King Size for only $2. And fill your propane tanks for $3.99 a gallon. Get ready for hunting and frying that turkey 24/7, 365. They've got what you need at the Freeway Holiday Station Store in Pine City.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden french fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
Embrace Orthodontics offers a unique specialized approach to orthodontic treatment with custom braces or Invisalign. The team at Embrace loves getting to know their patients personally and takes the time to make sure all your questions are answered. Their board-certified orthodontists use only the latest in modern technology to give you the best outcome possible. They work with your insurance company and offer flexible financing options to fit your budget. Call today to set up your free exam and see how Embrace Orthodontics can transform your smile. More online at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com.
Welcome back here to tonight's matchup of the Rock Ridge Wolverines and the North Branch Vikings. Tonight we have an exciting matchup. Like I said earlier in this presentation, it is a doubleheader tonight, so the girls will play first, and the boys will follow and play Duluth Denfield tonight. So, looking back at some of our records for these teams, North Branch has played some tough teams in their section. I mean, Bram is a force to be reckoned with this year. One of the favorites for going pretty far into playoffs. And then you're looking, and they play Hermantown. Hermantown is another very good basketball program over there. And then, Duluth Denfield, they kind of blew out, and again, with Two Rivers, it wasn't really a blowout, a very close game. That was an exciting game to watch. But with that being said, it is still really early on in the season, so you can't really make any justifications on expectations this early on. We like to really measure teams' outcomes later on in the season. So around mid-season actually is when we like to look and start seeing what these teams are really going to come out to be. Looking over at the Rock Ridge Wolverines, they played Esco and Cromwell Wright and won both. Now, Esco is usually a pretty good team, as is Cromwell. So the fact that they beat them could be saying quite a bit about them. I mean, it's going to be an exciting basketball matchup tonight. Looking at our starters for the game, for the North Branch Vikings, we have number 1, Caitlin Lattimore, number 2, Joanna Bartkey, number 23, Ella Kuhlman, number 32, Isabella Folkema, and number 34, Haley Diaz. Now, looking at that roster, it's a pretty good starting 5 for North Branch. We've seen them play before. Lattimore is kind of the team leader out there. She is able to call the shots and is able to put the ball on the floor when she needs to. Again, and then you have Ella Kuhlman, who is a very athletic player. She likes to get the ball down the floor and likes to get some good drives and such. And then you have some good players like Isabella Folkema and Haley Diaz in there as well. Moving on to the Rock Ridge Wolverines, starting off with their 5 starters, we have number 1, Chance Colbert, number 2, Anna Westby, number 3, Maija Lampa, number 5, Lexi Lampa, and number 42, Ava Dahl. Now, like I said, I don't know much about this team. They're 2-0, but they haven't played a section match yet. Now, that sparks some concern for a couple of reasons. Section games are really where you kind of measure up where you're going to sit throughout the year. So the fact that they haven't played any yet, and this is their first real one, I think we're going to get a taste of what they're really about tonight. So tonight's matchup taking place in North Branch. It's a beautiful evening out there. We have about 3.5 minutes to go till game time, and both teams are out there warming up. Just watching, I can tell that Rock Ridge is going to be a pretty solid team out there. They're shooting well. They're not missing anything inside the paint. And so what it's going to boil down to tonight, in my opinion, I think is going to be setting the tone, getting momentum early, and being able to keep that momentum, keep the pressure on. North Branch, what do they need to do to win this game? I think they need to come out and they have to play their best basketball right from the start. If they come out and have a slow start, it could be all downhill from there. So they need to come out aggressive, hard on defense, and I think that's how they're going to pressure these Wolverines into making some mistakes. As for Rock Ridge Wolverines, I think that they're going to have to come out and also put the pressure on. Pressure is a big thing in basketball. I mean, being able to have that early on lead and being able to hold it is, I mean, it's how a good team operates on the floor. So for Rock Ridge, I think they need to come out and set the tone early on offense. I think they need to show these Vikings girls that they're not about messing around out here. They're a serious bunch, and they want to go far in the section. So that being said, tonight's section matchup will resume after hearing from some of our sponsors and the national anthem, and then tip-off is here in about 2 minutes at 5:30.
Hey there, sports fans. Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City, and we have a Lee's Crazy Sale going on. It's time to gear up for hockey, basketball, wrestling, or volleyball equipment, as it is all 20% off. That's right, 20% off all your favorite hockey, basketball, wrestling, and volleyball equipment. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, Lee's Pro Shop has everything you need to take your game to the next level. So don't wait. Stop by Lee's Pro Shop today. Save big on your favorite sports equipment. Hurry in for Lee's Crazy Sale. Lee's Pro Shop, where the passion for sports begins.
Dale's Heating and Appliance, your local heating and appliance expert, is committed to making your family's comfort their top priority. And now you can add water softeners to their list of expertise. Dale's now offers water softener sales or rentals along with installation, service, and salt delivery. So if your home needs quality water, make the call to your already trusted experts at Dale's, or just visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. dalesheatingandappliance.com.
Arrowhead Transit, your community, your ride. Arrowhead Transit is proud to support this station and bring you reliable public transportation in your community. Whether you need to get to work, school, or the doctor's office, our friendly drivers and comfortable buses are here to serve you. We're committed to connecting communities and making transportation accessible for everyone. Arrowhead Transit is your community partner in getting around. Arrowhead Transit is a supporting sponsor of the station and is dedicated to supporting our local communities.
At Burnett Dairy Cooperative, we're more than just your local dairy. We're also a trusted propane provider, serving homes, farms, and businesses across northwestern Wisconsin and east central Minnesota. Whether you need a tank installed or reliable delivery, we're here for you 365 days a year with flexible options that fit your needs. As a farmer-owned cooperative, we're committed to supporting our community because your home and farm deserve the best. Call 715-689-1032 to learn more. Burnett Dairy Propane, serving you with pride every day of the year.
If aches and pains are holding you back, Wellia Health is here to assist you. Our sports medicine team is dedicated to getting you back to your passions. With extensive experience and expertise, we specialize in managing concussions, a worry for both young athletes and adults. Whatever the injury, let's get you back in action with an appointment at Wellia Health. Call us today at 320-679-1313 or conveniently schedule through your MyChart account. Visit welliahealth.org for more information.
Whoa! They've got what you need at the Pine City Freeway Holiday Station Store. Right now, the Pine City Holiday Station Store off 35 has got a quick meal on the go for you. $3 gets you a hot snack or hot dog, chips, and a Polar Pop. $4 for a breakfast sandwich, hash brown, and medium coffee. Or $5 gets you a personal pizza and a 20-ounce Pepsi. Get snacking. Open 24/7, 365. They've got what you need at the Freeway Holiday Station Store in Pine City.
Pine Insurance Agency and Grinnell Mutual are dedicated to a season of cheer. We wish you a very happy holiday season and the joy of spending time with family and friends. It is our gift to serve you, now and in the future. Celebrate this holiday season and trust in tomorrow. Contact Pine Insurance Agency, your local Grinnell Mutual agent, at pineagency.us today or call 320-629-2515 for all your insurance needs. Trust in Tomorrow is a registered trademark of Grinnell Mutual Reinsurance Company.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Need reliable energy? Burnett Dairy Cooperative has you covered with top quality propane services. Whether you're heating your home, running your business, or firing up the grill, our propane is safe, efficient, and always dependable. Choose Burnett Dairy Cooperative Propane, your trusted partner for all things energy. Stay warm, stay powered, stay local.
Welcome back here to tonight's high school matchup, the section matchup between North Branch Vikings and the Rock Ridge Wolverines. My name is Mac Nelson, and you're listening on WCMP YouTube. So tonight's game, we're going through our starting lineups here. If you're just joining me, we have a doubleheader here tonight in North Branch. So the girls will play first, and then the boys will follow playing Duluth Denfield tonight. So after this game, don't go anywhere because we're going to be picking this right back up after the boys warm up. So going through the starting lineups for North Branch Vikings, we have number 1, Kaylin Lattimore, number 2, Joanna Bartkey, number 23, Ella Coleman, number 32, Isabella Folkema, and number 34, Haley Diaz. Coming in for the Rock Ridge Wolverines, my apologies, our starting lineup goes number 1, Chance Colbert, number 2, Anna Westby, number 3, Maja Lampa, number 5, Lexi Lampa, and number 42, Ava Dahl. So tip-off will begin here momentarily as we go through these starting lineups. Before we start the game here, I do want to go over, keep a heads up here for Santa's Hotline. The annual Santa's Hotline is coming up Friday, December 13th. Have your little ones call in and talk to Santa himself. Joshua Myron and Santa will be live on WCMP and KBEK Friday the 13th from 6 till 8 p.m. Call 320-629-7575. That's the local number to talk with Santa. So the game is about to get underway here. Both teams are going to be going for their final huddles before this game starts. Tonight's game is played in North Branch, and there's no video tonight, only audio here on YouTube. So, as both teams exit their huddles and referees go to their points on the court, tonight's section matchup is about to be underway. Jumping tonight for Rock Ridge will be number 2, Anna Westby. And jumping for North Branch will be number 2, Joanna Bartkey. Tonight's matchup has begun. Kicking it off with the Wolverines winning. Pass down low for the layup. No good. Rebounded by Coleman. Coleman brings the ball up for North Branch. Shoots it down low to Lattimore. She's going to draw a foul on that one as the ball goes out of bounds. Fouls on number 1, Chance Colbert. That's their first of the night and the first for the team. North Branch looking for someone to pass the ball in for them. Coleman will be there to do so. And she passes it in to Bartkey, who fumbles it, gets it up top to Lattimore. Lattimore over to Folkema. Folkema drives in, gets it out to Coleman in the corner. She's going to drive with it, can't go anywhere. Gets it to Bartkey at the top of the key. Can't do anything with it. Hands it off to Diaz at the top of the key. She gets it to Lattimore in the corner. She's looking, can't do anything. Drives with it, wraps around, tries to get it to Folkema. Can't quite do it. Bartkey is going to take the shot and miss. Bringing up the ball is Ava Dahl for them. Passes it off to Lampa. Lampa dribbling with it, looking to do something. Passes it over to Colbert. Colbert gets it in low, and that's going to be Anna Westby for 2. That is going to give the Wolverines an early lead in this matchup. Bringing the ball up is Coleman for the Vikings. Full court press by the Wolverines. Screen is set. Nothing comes about it. She passes it off to Diaz. Diaz at the top of the key with it. Drives in, gets it to Coleman in the corner. Shoots it for 3. No good. Rebounded by Dahl. Dahl passes it off to Lampa. Lampa brings the ball up for the Wolverines. Hands it off to Lampa. Lampa over to Colbert. Colbert gets it off to Mija Lampert. Mija Lampert tries to go down with it. Finds Westby down low. Tries to wrap it around. Doesn't quite do it. And Folkema is going to come up with the rebound there. Coleman passes it off to Lattimore. Lattimore on the 45. Guarded hard. Passes it cross court over to Folkema. Folkema looking to set something up with it. Hands it off to Coleman, who's now double teamed. Drives down the left-hand side, and she's going to draw a foul. 2 shots for Coleman. Foul is going to be on number 5, Lexi Lampa. That's her first and the team's second. First free throw is going to be good for Coleman. Second free throw is also going to fall, bringing this game to 2 apiece. As Lexi Lampa brings the ball up for the Wolverines, passes it off to Colbert. Colbert finds Anna Westby down low. Back up to Lexi Lampa. Lexi Lampa over to Fultz, who has now subbed into the game. And that's going to be Lexi Lampa for 2 in the middle of the lane. Coleman brings the ball up for the Vikings. Passes it off to Damiani. Damiani drives it in, can't get the shot to fall. It's going to be rebounded by Fultz, and it's going to be turned over. Picked up by Bartkey there. Coleman gets it down low to Damiani for 3. That shot falls for the Vikings, giving them a 5-4 lead. Lampa's going to drive it in, gives it off to Colbert in the corner. Stolen away by Diaz there. Diaz gives it off to Folkema, who's going to bring the ball up, passes it down to Damiani very quickly. And she's going to get it down to Folkema low, can't do anything with it, passes it off to Diaz. Diaz gets it back to Folkema in the corner. Folkema for three, and it's going to fall short. Rebounded by no one. They're going to let it go out of bounds. But it is going to be Rock Ridge's ball. The score is 4-5 on the Embrace Orthodontist scoreboard down there. Embrace Orthodontist. Custom Light Force braces or Invisalign. Clear aligners with 3 locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. Check them out at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com. So timeout's going to be called on the floor, and I believe it's going to be a short timeout. I think North Branch is trying to set up something so that they can get something going down there. First horn here. So referees are going to call them back onto the floor here. And both teams come out of the timeout. An early three-pointer here from Maria Damiani has given them a 5-4 lead. Rock Ridge passes it into Lexi Lampa. Lexi Lampa is going to bring the ball up, guarded by Coleman. Passes it off to Colbert. Colbert down to Westby on the 45. Tries to find Lexi Lampa down low. Fading away. That's going to be a nice 2 points for Lexi Lampa, giving them a 6-5 lead. Diaz bringing the ball up. Passes it down to Bartkey, and she's going to find that for 2. Great play there by Diaz and Bartkey. Her first points of the night. In the lane is in a lot of trouble for the Wolverines. Colbert shoots it for 3, and it's going to airball. Going to be rebounded by Coleman, who hands it off to Damiani. Damiani dribbles into some trouble. She's going to bring it back out of there and tries to give it to Diaz there, but she is almost plowed over by Foltz. But no foul will be called. Ball is just going to go out of bounds, and it will remain the Vikings ball. Caitlin Lattimore now subbing into the game. And a full court press will be applied by Rock Ridge. Gives it off to Coleman, who gets it on the run, off to Bartkey in the lane. That's going to be an easy fall for 2 points from Joanna Bartkey, her second of the night. Westby has it at the top of the key for the Wolverines. Jab steps, tries to drive, passes it out to Maja Lamp, not going to fall. Rebounded by Damiani, but it's going to bounce off her foot and go out of bounds. It's going to remain Wolverines ball. A little bit of confusion on the court as they didn't quite know what the call was. But it's going to be Wolverines ball, and the inbound play. It's going to get it off to number 42, Dahl again, who shot goes up, no good. Rebounded by Westby, also no good. Rebounded by Maja Lampa. That one's going to fall for 2, though. Her first of the night, first points of the night. Full court press being applied by the Wolverines. Passes it down court to Damiani, who looks to shoot it but doesn't quite get it off. It's going to be picked off by Foltz from the Wolverines. And trying to bring it up is Maja Lampa, who just couldn't quite get a hold on it. It's going to go out of bounds. But it looks like it was tipped, so it's going to remain Rock Ridge's ball. Lexi Lampa gets the inbound from Westby here. Lampa gets it over to Foltz. Foltz gets it to Westby. Guarded well by Folkema. Tries to get across court, but it's going to be picked off by Damiani. Damiani bringing it up for the Vikings. Looking to do something with it. Gives it off to Bartkey at the top of the key. Bartkey gets it to Folkema. Folkema to Coleman in the corner. Tries to drive. Dribbles into trouble. Three-pointer from Damiani. Not going to fall. Rebounded by Lexi Lampa. Lampa brings it up for them. And then Westby for 3, no good. Rebounded by Bartkey. Bartkey passes it off to Folkema to bring up the court. Hands it off to Lattimore on the 45. Trying to do something with it, but she's picked up her dribble. She's locked. Tries to get it down low, but that's going to be picked off by Lexi Lampa. Gets it down court to Maja Lampa. And no good for 2. Rebounded by Damiani. Gets it off to Coleman. Coleman bringing it down for the Vikings, trying to set something up here. Guarded well by Lexi Lampa. She's gonna pass it off to Folkema, and it's gonna go out of bounds off of her. That was good defense from the Wolverines there. Now subbing in is number 24, Natalia Rosales for the Vikings. And it looks like number 14, Wilcox for the Wolverines. Lampa gives it off to Foltz here. Has it on the 45, gives it back to Lampa. It's going to be picked off by Coleman, but it's going to go out of bounds. Remains Wolverines ball. 11 minutes and 22 seconds to go here in this first half. And the Vikings have a 9-8 lead over the Wolverines on that Embrace Orthodontist scoreboard. Lampa brings it up, tries to go from the elbow for two. That one's going to fall for them. And it is going to become 10-9 out there. Vikings try and bring the ball up, but it seems to be picked off by Westby early on. Lampa gets it, tries to do something, hands it off to Westby. She's going to dance around the defenders and bring that in for two. 2 points from Anna Westby. Coleman passes it to Folkema, who gives it back to Coleman, who's wrestling with Foltz for it from the Wolverines. And a foul is going to be called on Foltz. Her first, the team's third. And that is Liz Foltz. Liz Foltz, ladies and gentlemen. Inbound play, trying to set up here. Folkema gets it into Coleman. Coleman's going to try and get an offense going. Screen set by Rosales. Two-pointer. Long two is going to fall for Coleman. It's a 1-point game, ladies and gentlemen. And Lexi Lampa has it up almost at half court, guarded well by Damiani. Tries to get a cross-court pass to Colbert, but it's going to fall out of bounds. It's going to become Vikings ball. In for the Vikings is number 21, Bistido, and Bartkey back in. Also subbing back in for the Wolverines is Maja Lampa. And as Rosales inbounds the ball to Coleman here, it's going to be picked off by Lexi Lampa. Passes it down low to Westby on the run. That's going to be good for two from the Wolverines out there. Bringing the ball up now for the Vikings. Oh, it's going to be trapped here. Bistido is trapped at half court, and a 30-second timeout is going to be called. We are going to do the same and hear a word from a couple of our lovely sponsors. We'll be right back here on WCMP YouTube.
Your journey to smile with your forever starts at Embrace Orthodontics. The team at Embrace is committed to providing world-class care and a remarkable orthodontic experience. Choose between custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge, and a plan to fit your budget, whether you have insurance or not. Embrace Orthodontics will make your smile journey comfortable, convenient, and customized just for you. Visit EmbraceMN.com today to find out how to set up your free exam. EmbraceMN.com. Embrace Orthodontics, a smile you will embrace forever.
Yes, a big thank you to Embrace Orthodontics for sponsoring our scoreboard down there. Welcome back to tonight's matchup. I'm Mac Nelson on WCMP Radio here, and the Vikings are playing the Wolverines tonight, North Branch and Rockridge here in the North Branch Barn. In case you don't know, tonight is a doubleheader game, so after the girls' game, don't go anywhere because we will have the boys' game on after it. Now, back to the game. Coleman tries to get it in low to Bartkey, but it's going to be picked off by Lampa, and then it's going to be Westby for two, but it's not going to fall. Rebounded by Bartkey. Over to Coleman. Coleman tries to get it up court to Lattimore, but it's just a little too tall for her. It's going to fall out of bounds. Those transition points are going to be huge for them if they can get a good understanding with each other. The score tonight is 14-11, as you can see on our Embrace Orthodontist scoreboard, as Lexi Lampa brings up the ball for the Wolverines, passes it off to Colbert. Colbert up top to Maja Lampa. Lampa over to Lexi Lampa. Gets her trapped in the corner here. Up to Westby on the top of the key. Westby gets it down to Lexi Lampa, who's going to drive baseline with it and try and get a little floater up. It's not going to fall, but it's going to be rebounded by Wilcox. three-pointer up from Maja Lampa, no good. It's going to hit the top of the backboard and fall out of bounds. It will be Vikings ball. Into the game is Folkema for the Vikings. Coming out is Rosales. And Folkema will pass the ball in. Full court press being applied by the Wolverines tonight. It's a good press too, but they're able to break it. Coleman is bringing the ball up for the Vikings. Guarded well by Lampa. Screen tries to be set. Drives in. Falls for two. That was a great shot from Miss Coleman. And that's going to be another score for them. Defensive play going to be made here. And it's going to go out of bounds, but it's going to remain Rock Ridge's ball here. Into the game is going to be Dahl again. And the inbound pass into Lexi Lampa. Lampa over to Colbert on the 45. Looks for a cutter, but not going to find it. Over to Lampa, down to Lexi Lampa at the box. Can't get a shot up. Picked up her dribble. She's in trouble. Gives it off to Dahl. Dahl for two. No good, but she's going to draw the foul. Foul is going to be on number 32, Isabella Folkema. Her first and the team's first. Shooting free throws will be Dahl here. The first free throw not going to fall for her. She's looking to just get a little bit bigger lead on the Vikings here tonight. So far, it's been a pretty fast-paced game. And like I always say, free throws win games. Second free throw's up. That one's going to trickle in for Dahl. It's going to bring them just that much closer to keeping that lead. Folkema gets the ball there, gives it off to Coleman for three. Going to bounce off the rim, but rebounded by Barkey. Foul is going to be called on number 42, Ava Dahl for the Wolverines. That's going to be her first and the team's fourth foul. So Folkema will pass it in for the Vikings. Pressure is being applied by Rock Ridge. They're doing this full court press really well. Gets it into Diaz. My apologies. Screen jumped. Westby tries to get the ball, but they're going to call a push on her. And I think that was the right call. She looked a little confused about it, but that's going to be her first and the team's fifth. 5-1 here. It's going to remain Vikings ball. Folkema is going to pass the ball in for the Vikings here. Gets it into Coleman, who's running with it. Double teamed at the 45, though. Looking to do something, drives in, gets stopped in the middle of the lane. Tipped there by Maja Lampa, but it's going to be picked up by Diaz. Diaz with it. Looking to drive, but gets stopped. Over to Lattimore on the 45. Lattimore drives with it. Gets blocked by Westby. And she's a little frustrated about that. Westby bringing it up in the fast break. Over to Lexi Lampa, who gets it picked away by Diaz. What a great recovery play there. 7 minutes and 47 seconds left on tonight's game. The Wolverines are leading the Vikings 15-13 on that Embrace Orthodontist scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontist. Leave a smile you will embrace forever. Find out more at embracemn.com. That looks like it's going to be a three-pointer from number 5, Lexi Lampa. What a great play there from the inbound team. Folkema gets her to jump on the three-point attempt. Long two is going to be missed. Rebounded by Westby for the Wolverines. She brings it up, guarded by Coleman. Over to Maja Lampa, over to Colbert in the corner. Colbert gives it back to Lampa on the 45. A little bit of miscommunication on the court right now, but they're trying to get something set up. Screen tries to be set, almost picked away by Lattimore. She's going to drive with it, and a foul is going to be called. Foul's going to be called on number 1, Caitlin Lattimore. Her first and the team's second foul tonight. Into the game is going to be Damiani. And number 24, Liz Foltz for the Wolverines. Inbound play from Maja Lampa, my apologies. Passes it in there. Gets the three-point shot up. It's going to be tipped, though. Rebounded by Coleman. Coleman is racing with it. Pretty typical in-transition attempt from her that we see. She's still trying to do something with it. Gives it off to Diaz. Screen set. And it looks like they're going to call a moving screen on Johanna Bartkey. Her first and the team's third. That was the right call. She stepped into her just a little bit, and the ref managed to catch it. So it's going to be a turnover, and Wolverines ball. Lexi Lampa brings the ball up, guarded by Diaz. Double screen set for her. Tries to get it a cross-court pass up to Maja Lampa. Over to Westby, who drives with it. Going to be picked out, though, but it's going to be grabbed by Dahl. Cross-court to Westby. Westby to Lampa. Lampa to Lampa for three. No good. Off the back iron. Rebounded by Folkema for the Vikings. Over to Coleman, who's trying to get that in-transition point that they normally try to go for. Guarded well, full court by Lexi Lampa. Little over-the-top pass to Bartkey. Going to be blocked in the lane, though. And Maja Lampa will bring the ball up for the Wolverines. Down low to Lexi Lampa. Little fadeaway, heavily guarded, but that's going to fall for 2 points. Bringing their lead 20-13. Little pass from Coleman, trying to get it to Bartkey down low, but it's going to be a little tall for her. Lampa brings it up, gives it to Lexi Lampa, who passes it off to Westby. Misses the 2-point shot, and it's going to be rebounded by Diaz. Diaz gets it off to Folkema. Folkema trying to set something up with it, looking for help. Gets it to Coleman at the top of the key. Tries to get an over-the-head pass to Bartkey, but it's going to be just a little bit too tall for her, which is hard to do because Bartkey is a tall player out there. Joanna Bartkey coming in at 6 foot, one of the taller girls out there. I think she's the tallest girl out there right now. That being said, the Wolverines bring up the ball for Rock Ridge here. 5 minutes and 25 seconds left in this game. The crowd is chanting defense over here on the Vikings side. Lampa dribbles it into the corner, gets it in low to Westby. Westby gets a cross-court pass. It's picked off by Diaz, but grabbed by Lampa across half court. Lampa over to Fultz in the corner, who gets it into Westby, passes it out to number 41, Brooklyn Smith, who is going to nail that one for 3 points. Her first action of the night. It's going to pay off for the team. Quick upcourt pass to Diaz from Folkema, or from Coleman. Coleman gets it to Damiani in the corner, who shoots it for three. No good. Rebounded by Bartkey, who puts it back up for two. That's a big 2 points from Bartkey there that they needed. Lampa drives into the lane with it, heavily guarded, passes it back out to Westby, who is just going to ring that bell for that three-pointer. Anna Westby, another score for her tonight. Over to Damiani on the 45. Tries to get it to Folkema, but it's going to be picked off by Lampa. It's 2-on-1 here, and Lampa gives it off to Fultz, and she's going to make that. Never mind, she's going to get blocked at the rim, actually. It's going to be rebounded by Coleman. Coleman gives it off to Diaz. Diaz tries to do something with it, but has to hand it off to Bartkey. Bartkey up top to Damiani. Damiani to Coleman for three. Not good. Rebounded by Folkema. Gives it back out to Coleman on the three. Passes it to Bartkey out the elbow, and that's not going to be good. Rebounded by Westby. Passes it to Lampa. We'll bring it up for them. 3.5 minutes left in the first half here. And Lampa tries to do something, but well guarded by Diaz. Passes it off to Smith. Smith drives in. Two-pointer, not going to be good. Rebounded by Coleman. Coleman with her head on a swivel, looking to get up the floor with it and get an easy 2 points. The give and go with Bartkey. It's going to be picked off by Fultz, and the fast break is going to come. Foul is going to be called on Diaz, it looks like. Diaz is going to get her first on the night and the team's fourth. So tonight the score is 26-15 with 3 minutes left on our Embrace Orthodontist scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontist, your customized smile journey starts with a free consultation. The team at Embrace Orthodontist wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners. Find out more at embracemn.com. Bringing it back to the game here, Fultz with the 2 free throws. She's going to miss her first. Second one's going to go up. That one is going to fall. And her first points of the night. Extending that lead just a little more. Coleman quick up the court with it. Double teamed though. Gives it off to Lattimore, who's back in the game. Lattimore over to Damiani. Damiani trying to do something. Hands it off to Diaz on the 45. Diaz back to Damiani in the corner. Looking inside. There's going to be a foul called. Looks like it's going to be a body on number 41, Smith. Her first and the team's 6th. So now 6 team fouls for the Wolverines. Coleman will inbound the ball here for the Vikings. Gets it down low to, my apologies here, gets it down low to Rosales, and that's going to be no good. But quick fast break in transition play is going to give 24 Fultz another 2 points for the Wolverines. Extending their lead just a little bit more. Rosales takes it all the way to the rim, and she's going to get fouled. Looks like it's going to be on number 41, Smith. Never mind, number 42, Ava Dahl. Her second, and the team's 7th. So now, Vikings are in the bonus. Rosales lines up at the free throw line. First free throw is not going to fall for her. Leaving free points out on the board. Subbing into the game is Colbert for the Wolverines again. And Rosales' second free throw is going to fall. Extending their catch-up game that they're playing. Lampa gets it down low to Wilcox for an easy 2, but she misses it at the bucket, and it's going to be rebounded by Damiani. Coleman brings it up quick. Long three-pointer. Going to be just off the front iron, but it's rebounded by Damiani. Damiani trying to set something up here. Drives in. Tries to give it out to Bistido, but it's going to roll out of bounds just a little bit behind her. So now Westby will take it out of bounds for the Wolverines. Coming back into the game is Folkema for the Vikings. Lexi Lampa will bring the ball up for the Wolverines. Gives it off to Colbert on the 45. Running all the way around the arc to give it back to Lampa in the corner. Screen will be set. Picks up her dribble, can't do anything. Gets it off to Westby at the top of the key. Three-pointer is up, no good. Rebounded by Wilcox for them, no good. Gives it off to Lampa. Lampa passes it to Wilcox. Wilcox to Colbert. Colbert driving into Lampa. Foul's going to be called, no shot. Foul's going to be called on Caitlin Lattimore, her second of the night, and the team's 5th. No shot, though. So Lexi Lampa will pass the ball in for the Wolverines. Gets it over to Colbert. It's going to be picked off by Coleman, but it's going to go out of bounds. Stays Wolverine ball. Into the game is Maja Lampa now. I just want to take a second. Looking at their roster, they have 4 Lampas on their team. 4 Lampas. Thought that was just a funny coincidence. Lampa to Maja Lampa for 3. No good from the corner. Rebounded by Coleman. She's going to try and take a coast-to-coast, but it's going to be picked out of there by Colbert. Stays Vikings ball, though. 1 minute and 9 seconds left to go here. Wolverines with a 29-16 lead over the Vikings on our Embrace Orthodontist scoreboard. Inbound pass to Bartkey is going to be no good. Stays as Vikings ball as Maja Lampa tipped it out of bounds. Coleman goes to inbound the ball instead of Bistido. Coleman gets it up to Bartkey. Barkey looking to do something with it. Gets it over to Coleman. He's in the corner. Gets it over to Bistido. Bistido up top to Damiani. Damiani drives, gets it up to Coleman. Coleman back up to Damiani at the top, over to Folkema. Folkema gets it down to Coleman at the 45. Three-pointer going to go up on the run. No good. Rebounded by Westby. Westby gets it down to Lexi Lampa, who's going to do a quick move around her defenders, and that's going to be an easy 2 points for the Wolverines. Coleman brings the ball up, gets it off to Damiani there in the corner, who drives in. It's going to be blocked on the pass to Westby. Westby gets it to Maja Lampa, who's running in transition. Gets Coleman to jump on the pump fake. Misses the layup, though. Gets to her own rebound. Misses again. And this time it's Damiani with the rebound. Coleman now bringing the ball up for the Vikings. Coleman gets it to Bistido, who tries to drive with it. Tries to get a cross-court pass to Folkemo. It's going to be picked off by Colbert. Lexi Lampa for the long-range three-pointer. That's going to fall with 0.7 seconds left. Tried to be a buzzer beater, but it's going to fall, and that's going to be 3 points plus an and one. So Lexi Lampa will get to shoot a free throw here to make it a 4-point play. And then the Vikings have 0.7 seconds to try and get it to their side of the court and make a shot here. So one free throw coming here from Lexi Lampa. Free throw's good. That's going to be a 4-point play from Lexi Lampa. Tried to be a buzzer beater, and it beat the buzzer, but there's still a little bit of time. Vikings trying to get it in for a full court shot. Not going to throw anything up. That's going to be halftime. So let's hear a word from a couple of our sponsors here on WCMP YouTube, and then we'll be right back for a little bit of a halftime review.
Whoa, they've got what you need at the Pine City Freeway Holiday Station store. Right now, load up on deals like Red Bull 8.4-ounce cans, 3 for $6.50, Frito-Lay varieties, buy one, get one free, buy a fountain drink and get a Reese's King-Size candy bar for $2, and fill your propane tanks for $3.99 a gallon to get ready for hunting and frying that turkey. Open 24/7, 365. They've got what you need at the Freeway Holiday Station store in Pine City.
Hey there, neighbors. Matt Winsand, CEO Burnett Dairy. Farmers are the people that wake up before the sun, who battle the elements, and tend to their crops and herds with a passion that runs deep in their veins. At this time, I would personally like to thank the farmers. From all of us at Burnett Dairy Cooperative to all of our incredible farmers, thank you. Burnett Dairy Cooperative. Real farms, real flavor.
Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City. We're a full-service lettering shop with a full line of athletic supplies for any sport. We have professional staff here at Lee's Pro Shop to customize your orders. We are the pros who specialize in athletic apparel and equipment. We even do trophies and awards as well as computerized engraving in the store. Let Lee's Pro Shop help you with any athletic apparel. Lee's Pro Shop, servicing our communities since 1973, where the passion for sports begins.
A Lennox air source heat pump is a high-efficiency air conditioning unit that can also heat your home or business during the spring and fall. It's more economical than heating with propane. Have Dale's Heating and Appliance install your Lennox air source heat pump. Ask Dale's how you can receive up to $1,000 in rebates for your air source heat pump system. And ductless mini splits also qualify for up to $1,000. Visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Welcome back here to WCMP on YouTube. My name is Mac Nelson, and we are here with the halftime report from the North Branch Vikings and the Rock Ridge Wolverines game. Looking at some of our stats, our halftime score you can see on our Embrace Orthodontist scoreboard is Wolverines lead the Vikings 35-16. So let's look at a little bit of individual stats. Starting off with Kaylin Lattimore coming in with no points and 2 fouls. Joanna Bartkey with 6 points for the Vikings. Ella Coleman is going to come in with 6 points as well. Natalia Rosales with a single point from her free throws there. And Maria Damiani is going to come in with 3 points as well. So that's going to total them up to 16. And now when we come down here and look at the Wolverines halftime report here, they have a much different looking stats sheet here. Coming in with Anna Westby starting out for the Wolverines, coming in with 9 total points for them, which is a very good first half for her. Then we come in with Maja Lampa with a nice, measly little 2 points. And then Lexi Lampa with 17 total points this half. That is a wild first half for her. Then we got Liz Foltz coming in with 2 points. And Brooklyn Smith is also going to be coming in with 3 points. And Ava Dahl comes in with 1 point as well for the Wolverines. So, tonight's matchup so far has been an exciting section game between these two teams. But don't go anywhere after this game is done, because tonight we have a doubleheader. Tonight we are doing the girls basketball game first, and then the boys basketball game will play at Duluth Denfield here right after. So don't go anywhere after we finish this broadcast, because we're going to bring it right back with the boys playing. I want to take a second here to talk about Santa's Hotline. The annual Santa's Hotline is coming up Friday, December 13th. Have your little ones call in and talk to Santa himself. Joshua, Myron, and Santa will be live on WCMP and KBEK on Friday the 13th from 6 till 8 p.m. 320-629-7575 is the local number to talk with Santa. 320-629-7575 is where you should call if you want to talk to Santa. So, Santa's Hotline is next Friday, actually. So if you want to take your little ones to talk to Santa himself, Josh got him in the office. So, I mean, call in to KBEK and we can get you talking to Santa. That's next Friday, by the way. So, looking at the fouls for this game, Lattimore has 2 fouls, Bartkey has 1, Folkema has 1, and Diaz also has 1, which brings their total to 5 fouls in the half. Looking down at the Wolverines, Colbert has 1, Westby has 1, Lampa has 1, Foltz has 1, Smith has 1, and Dahl has 2, bringing their total to 7. So, 35-16, the Wolverines lead the Vikings on our Embrace Orthodontist scoreboard down there. Embrace Orthodontists. Their board-certified orthodontists are committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. Start today at EmbraceMN.com. That's EmbraceMN.com. So we are going to take a little bit of a commercial break here and hear a word from a couple of our sponsors, and then we'll be back for a little bit of bantering between myself and you guys before we kick off the second half here in this section matchup between North Branch Vikings and Rock Ridge Wolverines. I'm Mac Nelson on WCMP Radio, and we'll be right back after a word from a couple of our sponsors.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare, information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Go online to pine.edu for more information. Pine Technical and Community College, connect with success.
Whoa! They've got what you need at the Pine City Freeway Holiday Station Store. Right now, load up on deals like Heggy's Pizza, 2 for $16 with a new breakfast pizza available. Starbucks Frappuccinos are 2 for $7. Buy a fountain drink and get a Reese's King Size for only $2. And fill your propane tanks for $3.99 a gallon. Get ready for hunting and frying that turkey 24/7, 365. They've got what you need at the Freeway Holiday Station Store in Pine City.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden French fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
Welcome back here to WCMP Radio. I'm Mac Nelson here in North Branch for tonight's section matchup between the North Branch Vikings and the Rock Ridge Wolverines. We have about 2.5 minutes here before the second half is going to kick off. So let's talk about a couple things that both teams did well and both things that teams need to work on. So first off, I think that North Branch playing extremely good defense. Rock Ridge is just being able to work around it. They're able to get in low and find open players when they get into trouble. which is where North Branch is struggling, I think. They get into some trouble when it comes to their offense. They get into trouble and they can't find anyone to give it away to, and it just gets stolen on those passes because they're very, very easy to pick off through easy passing lanes and stuff like that. So that's what I think North Branch needs to work on. But like usual, they're playing their good, fast basketball like they have been playing. And if they can keep that up and start getting some points in transition, then I think they can start to make a comeback here. They are down by quite a bit, but if they can start hitting some shots and start running in transition a little bit better, I think they can pull this one off. As for Rock Ridge, I think they just need to keep playing their game. They're doing well offensively, weaving through defenders and getting into some sticky situations, but finding their way out of it. So I definitely think that's a positive for them right now. But I think that their defense could use a little bit of work. When they get in trouble, they just kind of grab on to the Vikings. I mean, it was 7 to 5 fouls in the first half, which isn't a huge margin, but I mean, it's a good solid way. It's not a good solid way. Thoughts are kind of all over the place right now as I'm seeing lots of things happen on the floor. It's not really a great way to play defense. They got to keep their hands off. They got to be able to get in front of defenders and need to be able to play solid basketball out there. But I think they're doing a great job offensively, finding pockets and finding ways to get the ball down low, get it to the big person, and score some easy buckets. So 5 seconds here before the buzzer sounds, and then we will head into this second half of the section matchup between North Branch and Rock Ridge Wolverines. The buzzer has sounded. The Vikings are already on the court. They look ready. They've got a play drawn up. They're dancing to music right now. Here comes Rock Ridge out of the huddle. Getting into this second half here. Folkema will pass it into Coleman for the Vikings. Coleman brings it up, looking for something to do with it. Gets it over to Diaz. Diaz on the 45. Gets it down low to Folkema. That's going to be an easy 2 points for the Vikings. Easy 2 points from Folkema. Pass to Colbert in the corner. Over to Lampa in the other corner. Thinks about it. Not going to go. Gets it to Lampa as well. Gets it down low to Westby, who bounces it off her shoulder and is stolen away by Barkey. Coleman brings the ball up for the Vikings in her usual quick fashion. Looking to do something with it. Gives it off to Barkey on the 45. Tries to get it down low to Folkema, and she does. Passes it over to Lattimore on the other block. That's going to be 2 points for Lattimore. That's going to be a great start for the Vikings, coming out swinging like I think they needed to do. Only down by 15 points now. Just under 17 minutes to go. Tries to get it down low to Westby, but not gonna be denied by Diaz. But it's gonna be picked back up by Lampa and driven in for 2 points. That's Lexi Lampa there in this second half. Hard defense on Folkema is going to cause a turnover to Maja Lampa, and that's going to be an easy 2 points for her in this second half. So Vikings come out swinging, and the Wolverines answer very quickly. Coleman runs into some trouble. It's going to be picked off by Westby for a turnover, who looks to take it all the way herself. Does a little Euro step floater, not going to fall, but rebounded by Coleman. Coleman gets it to Lattimore up the court. He thinks about taking it all the way. Not going to happen. Just passes it out of bounds. A little bit of a miscommunication between her and Folkema there, actually. So that ball's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be Wolverines' ball. Looks like a sub error happened just now. But we're underway again as Lexi Lampa brings the ball up for the Wolverines. Guarded by Diaz. Diaz looking to do something. Lampa with the cross-court pass to Maja Lampa for three. It's going to bounce around and not fall in. Bartkey's there for the rebound for the Vikings. Coleman brings the ball up, passes it up court to Diaz, who's looking to get the transition play. Good defense from Colbert. Back up to Coleman, cross-court to Lattimore from the corner for three. No good. Rebound is going to be up in the air, but it's going to end up going out of Bartkey. And it will be the Wolverines' ball. 15 and a half minutes here. 20-39. The Wolverines lead by 19. Maja Lampa, my apologies, will bring the ball up for the Wolverines. Gives it off to Lexi, over to Westby, over to Colbert, who gives it off to Dahl. Dahl is trying to make a move with it, but passes it off to Maja Lampa, who gives it to Westby, dribbles in, and miscalculation on her short corner two-pointer. It's going to bounce off the top of the backboard there. Folkema passes it into Coleman, who's going to be full court pressed here by Lexi Lampa. They've been doing this all night, and it's been working out really well. Coleman almost gets around, tries to give it to Lattimore for a three, who gives it off to Bartkey, and a foul is going to be called. 2 shots for Bartkey here in the second half. Fouls on number 2, Anna Westby. Her second, the team's first of the half. First free throw is not going to fall for Bartkey. And coming into the game now for the Wolverines is Foltz, subbing in for Colbert. Under 15 minutes here. Wolverines have a 19-point lead over Vikings. Second free throw is going to fall for Miss Bartkey. Looks like they're going to call a foul on the ground as Westby tries to bring it in there. But the foul is going to be called on Folkema, and they're saying it's her third. Inbound play from Maja Lampert to give it to Dahl, but it's going to be no good. Picked up by Folkema, who grabs her dribble and is in trouble now. Coleman with the cutback gets it, and they're across half court. Coleman trying to set something up here. Drives in, gives it off to Folkema, who does a little pump fake, gets around the defender, but they're going to call a foul. And Folkema will be going to the line for 2 free throws. Foul's going to be calling number 42, Ava Dahl, her third, and the team's second of the half. First free throw, no good. Which is unfortunate because free throws do tend to win games. I mean, they are just free points, free attempts. Second free throw. That's going to fall for Folkema. Little by little, they are ticking away here. Lexi Lampa will bring the ball up. Tries to drive in, but Lattimore is playing lockdown defense. Switches over to Coleman playing defense, gets it down to Maja Lampa, who gets it into Dahl for 2. What an incredible play. She was falling out of bounds as she made that pass. That was an incredible play there as the Vikings bring up the ball. A little bit of a harsh pass from Diaz. Gets it over to Coleman, who gets it to Lattimore in the quarter. Lattimore back to Coleman on top for 3. No good. Rebounded by Westby. As Westby tries to go coast to coast with a Euro step, passes it back to Maja Lampa for 3. That one's going to fall. Timeout's going to be called. And we are also going to do the same here on WCMP YouTube. We'll be back with a couple of words from our sponsor.
Embrace Orthodontics offers a unique specialized approach to orthodontic treatment with custom braces or Invisalign. The team at Embrace loves getting to know their patients personally and takes the time to make sure all your questions are answered. Their board-certified orthodontists use only the latest in modern technology to give you the best outcome possible. They work with your insurance company and offer flexible financing options to fit your budget. Call today to set up your free exam. and see how Embrace Orthodontics can transform your smile. More online at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com.
Hey there, sports fans. Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City, and we have a Lee's Crazy Sale going on. It's time to gear up for hockey, basketball, wrestling, or volleyball equipment, as it is all 20% off. That's right, 20% off all your favorite hockey, basketball, wrestling, and volleyball equipment. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, Lee's Pro Shop has everything you need to take your game to the next level. So don't wait. Stop by Lee's Pro Shop today. Save big on your favorite sports equipment. Hurry in for Lee's Crazy Sale. Lee's Pro Shop, where the passion for sports begins.
Welcome back here to North Branch for tonight's section matchup. I'm Mac Nelson with WCMP Radio here on YouTube. No video tonight, unfortunately. It's audio only, but that's okay because we're still covering this game, and it's a good game so far. The Wolverines are leading over the North Branch Vikings 44-22 with just under 14 minutes and a half. Coleman gets the ball in from Diaz. Coleman gets it over to Coleman. Coleman gives a little floater, too. It's not going to fall. Rebounded by Westby. Westby brings the ball up for them. Gives it off to Lexi Lampa. There's a little fadeaway two-pointer. It's not going to fall. Tussle for the rebound, but it's going to end up being Vikings ball. Folkema is going to pass it in here. Full court press being applied by the Wolverines, but it's broken pretty easily. Diaz tries to get it down to Damiani, but it's going to be picked off by Maja Lampa. Lampa gives it over to Lexi Lampa. Gives a little floater two-pointer in there, and that's going to give another 2 points over to the Wolverines. Folkema gets it down low to Bartkey. Blocked on her shot by Westby, but it's going to be picked up by Diaz. Tipped, though. Long pass down the court. Tries to get picked up by Lexi Lampa. It is, but she passes it back to Folkema. Coleman brings the ball up. It's 3-on-3 basketball right now. She drives into the lane. Shot's going to go up, but no good. Foul is going to be called on number 42, Dahl. That's going to be her fourth. And the team's third for the half. So now Coleman's going to the line. First free throw is going to fall for her. And some new players sub in for the Wolverines. Coming in for the first time is Vasquez for the Wolverines. Coleman's second free throw is going to be no good. Rebounded by Westby. Who other than Westby? Westby gets it into Lexi Lampa, who hands it back off, and just Westby is just going to drive it in for a quick and easy 2 points. Those two players seem to be playing really well together. Have a lot of chemistry, it looks like. Lattimore tries to bring it in, but she gets blocked at the board by Westby, but that's going to be a foul on her, her third. And Lattimore is going to go to the line for the first time tonight. Her first free throw is not going to fall. Into the game is going to be number 41, Smith, who was in earlier and just hit it and hit a very nice three and then came out. Lattimore's second free throw is also no good, but it's going to be rebounded by Folkema, who comes down with it. Poked out of bounds by Lexi Lampa. Folkema gets it into Bartkey down low, and she goes up with it. No good, fading away. Rebound is going to go to Vasquez. Vasquez brings it up, tries to get it to Fultz, but it's going to end up in Lampa's hands. Lampa tries to get it up to Colbert, but it's going to be tipped off by Smith there. But Colbert gets it. Tries to pass it to Smith, but it's going to get tipped out of bounds by herself. A little bit of Butterfingers out there. So it's going to end up being Vikings ball here as Folkema passes it in. Coleman and Damiani are there to receive the inbound pass. And Coleman does, in her fashion, quickly down the court. Puts up a little two-point floater. Not going to fall. Rebounded by Vasquez. Lampa bringing the ball up now for the Wolverines. Vasquez for three, not going to fall. Bartkey with the rebound over to Coleman, who's going to bring it up the court for the Vikings. In quick-like fashion, drives all the way down, gets it over to Damiani for, oh, she thought about the three-pointer, but tries to drive baseline. Can't go anywhere. Double teamed off the screen, gets it to Bartkey down low. It's going to be ripped out by Coleman, and she's going to step out of bounds. There may have been a little bit of influence by Bartkey. She may have nudged her out, but it's going to go in Vikings' favor, and it will be their ball under their own hoop. 11 minutes and 12 seconds left here as the Vikings trail the Wolverines 23-48. Inbound pass goes to Bartkey. Bartkey to Damiani. Damiani tries to drive but gives it over to Coleman in the corner. Coleman with it. Trying to wrap around. No good. Gives it to Damiani for three. No good off the front rim. Rebounded by Lattimore. And a foul is going to be called on her shot. So she gets another 2-point attempt. Foul is going to be called on Lexi Lampa, her second on the night. First free throw, no good for Lattimore. Second free throw is up, also no good. Doesn't even touch the rim on that one. She's frustrated. Now it will be Rock Ridge's ball. They are bringing the ball up for them. Lampa gives it off to Fultz, who gives it up to Vasquez. Gets it way down low to Smith, who goes up with it, and Folkema comes down on top of her trying to block the ball. That's going to be a foul on Folkema, sending Smith to the line for the first time tonight. So that's going to be Folkema's fourth foul on the night. And the team's second for the half. Smith's first free throw is no good. Rosales will come in to relieve Folkema. She has 4 fouls. Second free throw from Smith is also no good. Rebounded by Lampa, who puts it back up for an easy 2 points. And they break the 50 mark. Lattimore trying to get through a double team, triple teamed. Gives it over to Coleman, who shoots it for 3. That one's going to fall. What a beautiful shot from Coleman. That's more like what we see from her when she plays. And the Wolverines try and answer with a 3-point of their own from Lexi Lampa. Not going to fall. Rebounded by Damiani. Gives it over to Coleman. And she's going to draw a foul on number 5. Lexi Lampa, that's going to be her third. Her third on the evening and the team's 6th. Lattimore will pass the ball in for the Vikings. Gets it to Damiani, who's going to get it poked out by Fultz. It's going to remain Vikings ball. Score is 50-26 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Inbound pass is going to be a little bit too tall for Coleman there. And it's going to be Wolverines ball. Ten minutes and 4 seconds left in the second half of this game. As Wolverines will pass the ball in. Lexi Lampa gets it in quick to Colbert. Colbert is going to call an illegal screen, or not Colbert, my apologies. It's going to be an illegal screen on number 30, Vasquez, her first of the game. Team 7th. Vikings are now in bonus with 10 minutes left. Inbound from Lattimore goes to Coleman. Coleman gets Lexi Lampa on her balls of her feet. 3-pointer's going to go up, and that's not going to hit the rim. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be the Wolverines ball. North Branch is looking like they're going to implement a full court press here, which has not been done yet this game by them. Westby coming back in for the Wolverines. Inbound pass to Colbert. Colbert over to Lexi Lampa. Lexi Lampa navigating through 3 defenders. Gets it to Westby down low, but she's double teamed. Can't do anything with it. Colbert at the top of the key with it. Gets it back to Westby in the corner. Drives in. No good. Gets it to Lexi Lampa at the free throw line. That one's going to trickle in for 2. Great little play there. Great ball movement from the Wolverines there. Cross-court pass to Diaz from Coleman. Gets it Diaz back to Coleman at the top of the key. Screen set, rolled. Pass over to Diaz. Diaz to Lattimore in the corner for 3. That's going to be no good, but rebounded by Bartkey. And a foul looks like it's going to be called. Foul is going to be called on number 2, Anna Westby. That's going to be her 4th. And it's going to put them at 8 fouls. So Bartkey will go to the line here for the bonus. First free throw. No good. And Dahl from them is going to get the rebound, but it's going to be poked from behind by Lattimore. Gives it off to Diaz. He's going to drive in with it, give it to Lattimore for 3 from the corner. No good. Hits the top of the backboard, but no call will be made as Lexi Lampa brings the ball up here. Fast break, coast to coast, off the backboard, but no good. Rebounded by Coleman, and she's moving quick with it, trying to get it down the floor. Guarded well by Fultz. Falls and loses the ball. It's going to be grabbed by Smith, who's going to get it up to Fultz, who has the court wide open and go coast to coast. And that's going to be 2 points for Liz Fultz for tonight. Extending their lead yet again. About 8 minutes left here in this second half. Diaz, short corner for 2, going to be no good. Rebounded by Colbert. Passes it up to Lexi Lampa. It's going to be blocked by Bartkey. What an incredible play there. Lampa thought she had it easy. But Bartkey was there to deny it. Tries to give it to Coleman. It's going to be tipped out of bounds by Fultz. Remaining Vikings ball. Lattimore is going to sub out of the game here tonight for who subbed in? Damiani subbed in. In-court pass from Folkama to Damiani. Back to Folkama over the top to Coleman as they try and break this full-court press, and they do. Gets it over to Damiani, whose three-pointer is going to be long. Rebounded by Diaz. Diaz gets it to Bartkey. Bartkey drives by for a quick 2 points. That was a textbook play from Bartkey. Being as tall as you are, got to be able to make plays like that. Drive in from the Wolverines, going to be no good. And Bartkey will get the rebound. Coleman gets it up the court to Diaz quickly. Gives it off to Bartkey at the free throw line. No good from her. Rebounded by Sophia Lampa. Lexi Lampa with the ball at half court. Trying to set up something. Gives it off to Sophia Lampa, who tries to give it to Anderson. It's going to be tipped over. Sophia Lampa will grab it again. Pass is going to be picked off by Bartkey down low. Gives it off to Coleman, who's going to bring it up for the Vikings. Drive by 1, 2, over to Folkama, who's going to get a quick 2 points off of that one. That's going to be a great transition play from Coleman and Folkama there. Lexi Lampa is going to slow it down here to continue bringing the ball up for the Wolverines. Trying to get an offense set up. Going to be over, passes it over to Tiesk, my apologies. Gives it back to Lampa for 3. That one's going to fall. A little bit of a deeper 3 as well from Lexi Lampa. It's going to be a good shot from her. Coleman, he brings the ball up for the Vikings, gives it over to Damiani, who tries to pass it to Folkema, but it just bounces off her chest back to Damiani. Drives in with it, tries to get it to Bartkey. It's going to end up in Lampa's hands. Lampa's trying to go coast to coast with it. Makes a good post move, but doesn't go anywhere with it. It's going to give it up to Anderson, who's going to try and take a 2-point shot there. Going to be no good. A little bit of a fight for the ball. Coleman's going to come down with it. Long up court pass to Diaz. Looks like she just stepped a little bit wrong, but she's going to give it to Bartkey at the top of the key. Who's going to give it back to Diaz. Goes in for the layup. Going to be no good. Rebounded by Folkema. Gives it back to Bartkey. Bartkey for 2 from the elbow. Going to be no good. Rebounded by Folkema. Folkema tries to get it to Coleman, but it's going to be picked off by Lexi Lampa. Who other than Lexi Lampa tonight? Lexi Lampa gets it low to Anderson, but it's going to roll off her fingers and end up out of bounds. Into the game is Colbert for the Wolverines and Rosales for the Vikings. And Folkema is going to inbound here to Coleman. The full court press is no longer being applied here. It makes sense as the Wolverines are leading 57-30 on our Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Coming up on 5 minutes left in the game here. As Coleman gives it off to Folkema. Folkema tries to get Rosales in low, but she's double teamed. Gets it over to Damiani, who drives down the baseline with it. That's going to be in for 2 on the layup from Damiani. Her first points of the half. Lexi Lampa is going to bring the ball up nice and slow, trying to waste some time off the clock here. Gets it over to Colbert on the 45. Going to be poked out of there by Damiani. Good defense being played here by the Vikings. Gets it over to Dahl. Dahl going to be blocked by Rosales on the layup. It's going to remain Wolverines ball. If you're just joining us here on WCMP tonight, don't go anywhere after this girls' game because we do have a doubleheader tonight. The boys' Vikings will also be playing after this game. They'll be playing Duluth Denfield tonight. So stick around after this game because we have another one coming right for you. Lexi Lampa has it on the 45. Looks to make a move with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Foul's going to be called. Foul's going to be called on number 32, Isabella Folkema. That's going to be her 5th, and so she is out on the night. But she had a good run there. Got some much-needed points for the Vikings. Lexi Lampa passing the ball in here. Gets it into Westby, and she's going to knock that down for a quick little 2 points. Another 2 points from Westby here. Vikings. Coleman brings the ball up for North Branch. Over to Diaz. Diaz to Bartkey. Bartkey tries to get it to Damiani. Heavy defense pressure by the Wolverines. It's going to be stolen away here by Tiesk. Given to Colbert, and it's going to be a foul called. I believe that's going to be on Diaz. Yes, Diaz, her 2nd of the game, and the team's 4th. Lexi Lampa passing the ball in for the Wolverines. Gets it over to Westby. Westby to Colbert. Colbert to Lampa for 3. No good. Rebounded by Damiani. Coleman now bringing the ball up for the Vikings. Drives straight through 3 defenders, but she's going to get stopped right before the block. Gets it over to Damiani for 3. No good. Rebounded by Westby. She's going to try and take it coast to coast. Fumbles it a little bit. Gets it out to Tiesk on the 3. No good. And Diaz is going to come down with the rebound, but she's going to fall, so they're going to call it a travel. So it'll remain Wolverines ball. Into the game is Bistido and Lattimore, Annabelle Lattimore, for that matter, for the Vikings tonight. Coming up on 3 minutes left in this game. Inbound pass to Dahl. Does a good move. Under the backboard, though. Going to be no good. Rebounded by Rosales. Given to Coleman. Coleman over to Bistido. Bistido for 3. That's going to fall. What an incredible shot from Bistido there for the Vikings. That's a little bit of a momentum swinger. What? Westby is going to try and answer, but that's not going to fall. It's going to be rebounded by Damiani. Good transition play. I didn't even see what happened, but it's going to be Annabelle Lattimore on the attempt, and it's not going to be good. Rebounded by Colbert for the Wolverines. Colbert spinning away, trying to get through, but Coleman is too good of a defender. Damiani playing good defense. Westby takes it down the baseline. Shot's going to go up from Lampa. Going to be rebounded by Dahl, and that's going to be in for 2. Coleman brings the ball up in her normal fashion and hits a little floater from the elbow in transition for a nice 2 points there. Timeout's going to be called, and it's going to be a full timeout here, so we're going to take a timeout as well. But don't go anywhere because we've got 2 minutes of game left to cover. We'll be back with a word from some of our sponsors.
Dale's Heating and Appliance, your local heating and appliance expert, is committed to making your family's comfort their top priority. And now you can add water softeners to their list of expertise. Dale's now offers water softener sales or rentals along with installation, service, and salt delivery. So if your home needs quality water, make the call to your already trusted experts at Dale's, or just visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. dalesheatingandappliance.com.
Arrowhead Transit, your community, your ride. Arrowhead Transit is proud to support this station and bring you reliable public transportation in your community. Whether you need to get to work, school, or the doctor's office, our friendly drivers and comfortable buses are here to serve you. We're committed to connecting communities and making transportation accessible for everyone. Arrowhead Transit is your community partner in getting around. Arrowhead Transit is a supporting sponsor of the station and is dedicated to supporting our local communities.
Welcome back here on WCMP Radio. I'm Mac Nelson here in North Branch for the section matchup between Rock Ridge Wolverines and the North Branch Vikings. Rock Ridge has a 61-37 lead over the North Branch Vikings on our Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. And we got 2 minutes left in the half. But don't go anywhere after the game because we've got a doubleheader tonight. Boys game is coming up right after this one. So Wolverine's going to bring the ball up. Smith has it on the top of the key. Tries to get fancy with it. She's going to lift her pivot foot, though. That's going to be a travel. And it's going to become North Branch's ball. Lattimore passes it into Coleman. Coleman's going to bring the ball up for the Vikings. Gives it off to Damiani. Damiani tries to do something with it. This pick and roll given to Annabelle Lattimore. But a foul's going to be called. Foul's going to be called on number 41. Brooklyn Smith. That's going to be her second. So that's going to send Annabelle Lattimore to the free throw for a single bonus. First free throw is going to be no good for her. Rebounded. Saved out of bounds, actually, by Wilcox. And it's going to be picked up by Lattimore, who's going to give it off to Coleman. Coleman over to Bistido. Bistido over to Damiani. Back to Bistido. Down low for Lattimore for 2 points. It's going to be her first points of the game. And the Wolverines are already back in their territory down here. Smith trying to do something here. Guarded well by Damiani. Ooh, almost picked off by Lattimore as the pass is intended for Wilcox. It's going to be turned over. Coleman's going to take it all the way for another 2 points for Coleman. And it's going to be brought up here. Ball's going to be given down to Allison Anderson on the box. She's going to go up with it. No good. 30 seconds left. Rebound by Wilcox. Going to result in a jump ball. A little bit of chippiness. But it's going to result in the Vikings ball. And Coleman's going to bring the ball up here, as per usual. 30 seconds left. Vikings trail the Wolverines 41-61. And we have some unfamiliar players out there right now. But Coleman is still in there. She's going to drive into the basket. Floater's going to be no good, as it's rebounded by Allison Anderson and brought down to the elbow, given to Smith at the top of the key. Trying to get something set up here. Shot's going to go up from Vasquez, but it's not going to be in time as the final buzzer sounds. And the final score is going to be Vikings 41 to the Wolverines 61 here at tonight's matchup. Let's give a listen here to some of our sponsors before we hit some post-game stats, and then we're going to listen to a interview with the boys' head coach, actually. So we'll be right back here on WCMP with a word from a couple of our lovely sponsors.
At Burnett Dairy Cooperative, we're more than just your local dairy. We're also a trusted propane provider, serving homes, farms, and businesses across northwestern Wisconsin and east central Minnesota. Whether you need a tank installed or reliable delivery, we're here for you 365 days a year with flexible options that fit your needs. As a farmer-owned cooperative, we're committed to supporting our community because your home and farm deserve the best. Call 715-689-1032 to learn more. Burnett Dairy Propane, serving you with pride every day of the year.
If aches and pains are holding you back, Wellia Health is here to assist you. Our sports medicine team is dedicated to getting you back to your passions. With extensive experience and expertise, we specialize in managing concussions, a worry for both young athletes and adults. Whatever the injury, let's get you back in action with an appointment at Wellia Health. Call us today at 320-679-1313 or conveniently schedule through your MyChart account. Visit welliahealth.org for more information.
Welcome back here to WCMP Radio. I'm Mac Nelson, and we're going to come up with some post-game stats here from this this section game between North Branch Vikings and the Rock Ridge Wolverines. So looking at a couple of interesting stats, one that I really want to point out from the North Branch Vikings is that they were 3 for 12 from the free throw line tonight, which is, as a coach, I would be saying that's unacceptable. But it is what it is. You have good games, you have bad games. I mean, 3 for 12 isn't the worst I've ever seen. Coming in here, looking at the Rock Ridge Wolverines, this time, once again, Lexi Lampa has blown the score out of the water, coming with 9 points in that second half, so that's going to bring her to a total of 26 points for this half. So the final score going to be 41-61. North Branch Vikings are going to lose to Rock Ridge Wolverines. So that's going to do it for the girls' game here tonight. I want to thank everybody tuning in. Thank all the people listening, all of you lovely people at home. You're the reason I have a job. So I do appreciate you listening into me. And this is my first solo game, so I do appreciate that. But don't go anywhere, because we have another varsity matchup here tonight. The North Branch boys are going to be playing against the Duluth Denfield boys as well. So, little doubleheader action tonight. Coming up here in about 18 minutes, we're going to be able to cover this game. So, we're going to go ahead and give a listen to we're going to listen to the interview from the head coach of the boys basketball team here, Trevor Walton. So, we're going to give a listen to that one, and then we will come back here to talk about some beginning stats and stuff like that. We'll be right back here on WCMP. I'm Mac Nelson. We'll be right back.
Ethan Game Day Gilman here, and I'm now joined by the North Branch boys basketball head coach, Coach Walton. First of all, thanks so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
And first question here for you. How many years have you been coaching?
So I've been coaching in St. Michael Albertville for the last 7 years, and this is my first year as a varsity head coach.
What got you into coaching?
Yeah, so I started in my early 20s, played high school basketball at Maple Grove Senior High, did 1 year of junior college, and was kind of trying to find a niche to stay in the game of basketball, and so I started in the travel program at St. Michael Albertville at the youth level, and kind of really found a passion and love to kind of teach them the game back. to the kids, and that's kind of how I got started.
And looking, of course, at the season, the fall sports season kind of runs right up to the winter sports season. But as a coach, how do you prepare for the basketball season?
Yeah, so this summer was really big for us. With the new coaching staff and getting to meet the players, we did a lot of small-sided games, doing a lot of competition stuff in the summer to kind of see where we were, kind of what was our barometer. And then kind of in the off-season was trying to just give them a platform to get the basketball in their hand, even though a lot of our guys are football players, and get them shots up and kind of give them the tools to be successful for this season with kind of the style of basketball we want to play.
Looking at the team now, how is the roster shaping up this year? Is it younger, older, a mix of both?
Yeah, it's a mix. It's younger than last year. Last year they had 5 seniors. This year we only have 3. But we have a combination. I mean, our JV to varsity roster is all the way from 8th graders up to seniors. So it's a mixture, but our varsity team is still got a fair amount of juniors. So I would say we're leaning a little older at the varsity level, but as a program, though, a good mixture.
And do we know who the captains for the team are this year?
Yes, the team decided it is Tyler Minke, a senior, and Chaz Johnson, also a senior. They are our 2 captains for this season.
Well, looking at the captains, for you as a coach, what are some of the things that you expect the captains to do?
Yes, first and foremost, they're leaders by example. They do the right things. They're on time. They are very coachable. They have very good work ethic. Not very high maintenance players. That's usually the first thing. And then, do they have the respect of their peers, whether that is also based on their work ethic, or maybe the accolades they've had in the past, or it's the tone and demeanor they treat other players. That's usually the kind of things we paid attention to this summer when we were going through the process.
As we look through the first couple weeks of practice here, have there been any players who have surprised you, or maybe even just stepped up?
Yeah, somebody that has surprised us would be Dooley Beaver. He's a senior. He tore his ACL last football season, so he wasn't able to play basketball last year. And he was recovering over the summer as well, so we didn't really know what to expect from him in this first couple weeks. But we've been pleasantly very surprised. Very good molder, very good defender, good shooter. So he's stepped up and kind of surprised us at the same time. And then I would say Kingston Draws, one of our sophomores, very athletic kid, very good guard. He stepped up, I would say, from the summer into the fall.
Looking at this season, maybe as a whole, as a coach, what is something that you're excited about for this season?
Yeah, I would say, I'm excited for our group. We have a tight-knit group. They've been playing with each other for a while. So it's been fun to be part of that camaraderie with them and kind of build off your relationships they've had. I'm excited for our section. It's pretty open this year, which gives me excited as a head coach that hopefully we can be peaking and playing our best basketball come February, March. So yeah, I think that combination, as long as we stay healthy, I'm pretty excited for it.
And you just mentioned this team has been playing together for quite some time. As a coach, does that make it easier for you to kind of build those relationships, knowing those guys have known each other for so long?
Yes. It's nice to have a foundation that's already built with some trust and some togetherness, that now we can just kind of build from that platform and try to take it to the next level, instill a little more trust, especially on the defensive end, and making sure that our guys are going to be in the right place. I think that helps that they have played basketball together for several years in North Branch. That kind of makes the learning curve go a little faster.
And looking at expectations on the year, maybe not so much wins and losses, but just as a team, what are some of the expectations for this year?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think December and January it's going to have some growing pains, with a new system and new coaches. I imagine that we will be in a process here, but my expectation is come February and March we'll be playing our best basketball and hopefully be the best version of ourselves.
And of course, your first season here with North Branch as the head coach, but maybe you've seen or heard, but what is something this team had success with in the past that you would like to see them again have success with this year?
Yeah, they were really good at offense last year. I don't want to rock the boat too much on that side. They were able to score a fair amount of points. So I'd like to build off that success. I also, they were around 500 and got to section semifinals, so I just kind of want to build off that, both in the regular season but also in the come playoff run too. But a really good foundation to start, and I just want to kind of try to take it just one more step up and try to see what we can do.
And, of course, you'll have your first game of the regular season here tonight. What is something that you're hoping to see from your team tonight against Cloquet?
Yeah, I would say for our first 2 weeks together, it's been a lot about the defensive side of the ball, so I'm hoping to see from our team great communication on defensive end, some physicality, and some good pace of play. It's been the big calling cards we've done the first couple weeks of the season, so I hope that's kind of sunk in, and I hope we kind of hang our hat on that side of the ball.
Now, I know as a coach, you look one game at a time, but are there any games that you're looking forward to maybe?
Yeah, I've been in St. Michael for a while, so I'm excited to play Monticello. We've played them over a couple of years, and I have some friends and relationships over there, so I'm excited to play Monticello this year. I'm also excited to play St. Francis. Robbie Whitney is the head coach there now, and I'm excited to play against his team as well.
Coach, that is all that I have for you here today. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I just think the biggest thing is I'm happy to be in North Branch, and I'm looking forward to the support from the community. They've been great so far, and looking forward to a couple home games here to start the season, and hopefully get back to stands.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for taking time to do this interview. It's greatly appreciated, and wish you the best of luck on the season.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen. That was the head coach, Trevor Walton of North Branch boys basketball. So this is their first season game. So it's the beginning of the season for them. So let's go take a look at some of these stats. So this is a section match between Duluth Denfield Hunters and North Branch Vikings. Taking a look here, Duluth Denfield has played one game, and they are 1-0 so far. My apologies. Apparently, it's not their first game. It's not their first section game. They said it was their first game in the interview, so maybe this was meant for a different game. But it says that they are 0-1 in the section and 0-1 overall. So, taking a look here at the teams that Duluth Denfield has played and those scores that have gone down, we can see that Duluth Denfield beat Duluth East in a pretty decent game here, 64-52. And so that's the only game they've played. This North Branch game is their next one. But looking at it, they play some pretty good teams in here. Duluth Marshall is always pretty solid. Cloquet, St. Paul Johnson, South St. Paul. They play some pretty solid teams, so it's going to be interesting to see how this North Branch team holds up against them. Speaking of this North Branch team, why don't we go take a look at some of their stats besides just the 0-1 overall record that they're rocking with. We look down here and we see that their first game was against Cloquet, and they lost pretty handily. 76-46 there. So, unfortunate there. So they play Duluth Denfield tonight, and then they don't play again for a week, not till next Friday. They play Big Lake, and they also play some good schools in here. Cambridge Isani has always been a good competitor. Monticello, like Coach had talked about, some good competition there. They're also going to play Rock Ridge, who the girls played earlier, and if you didn't catch that game, it was a pretty solid game there. And so now we're moving on to the second game of this doubleheader, which is North Branch versus Duluth Denfield. So speaking of them not playing for a whole week after this game, in a week we have the annual Santa's Hotline. So that's coming up on Friday, December 13th. Have your little ones call in and talk to Santa himself. Joshua Myron, which we have no idea how, managed to get Santa in the studio with him next Friday. So he'll be live on WCMP and KBEK on Friday the 13th from 6 till 8 p.m. 320-629-7575 is the local number to talk with Santa. It's a pretty cool thing we got going on there. I mean, if you got little ones, have them call in and talk to Santa live. I mean, how many kids can say they've done that? Not many. So that's definitely a good thing that we do. Looking at tonight's matchup, we already have our starters for the North Branch Vikings and the Duluth Denfield Hunters. Starting off for the Vikings, we have number 3, Tyler Mink. Number 5, Ethan Thorson, my apologies. Number 14, Chaz Johnson. Number 23, Vincent Dufek. Number 32, Jacob Nospel. Moving on to the Hunters, we have number 1, Marnaries Ferguson. Number 4, Joshua Rock. Number 10, Junior Brooks Lee. Number 11, Carter Brown. And number 35, Nathan LaPlante. You are listening here on WCMP Radio. If you're just joining us, I'm Mac Nelson, and we are going to be going into our game here for this match. It says that tip-off is at 5:30 p.m. That was for the last game. My apologies. That's the wrong thing. This is the right board. My apologies. No video tonight, unfortunately, so you just have to listen to my voice. I know, it's not incredible, but for a little while here, we're going to listen to a couple of our lovely sponsors, which we're so thankful for, because without them, we wouldn't have a job here. So we're going to give a listen to them, and then we'll be right back here in North Branch for this section matchup between the Vikings and Duluth Denfield. We'll be right back after a word from a couple of our sponsors here on WCMP Radio with Mac Nelson.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer. That signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Need reliable energy? Burnett Dairy Cooperative has you covered with top quality propane services. Whether you're heating your home, running your business, or firing up the grill, our propane is safe, efficient, and always dependable. Choose Burnett Dairy Cooperative Propane, your trusted partner for all things energy. Stay warm, stay powered, stay local.
Your journey to smile with your forever starts at Embrace Orthodontics. The team at Embrace is committed to providing world-class care and a remarkable orthodontic experience. Choose between custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners, with locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge, and a plan to fit your budget, whether you have insurance or not. Embrace Orthodontics will make your smile journey comfortable, convenient, and customized just for you. Visit EmbraceMN.com today to find out how to set up your free exam. EmbraceMN.com. Embrace Orthodontics. A smile you will embrace forever.
Yes, huge shout out to Embrace Orthodontics. They also sponsor our scoreboard down there. And you just heard lovely things about Embrace Orthodontics. We'll be talking about them throughout the rest of the game tonight as well. But coming into this game, we got about 4 minutes before tip-off here. So what do these teams need to do to win? Well, I haven't seen either of these teams play. I came into the last game of this doubleheader with a little bit of knowledge of how the North Branch girls team plays. But this is my first time seeing either of these teams play. This is my first boys basketball game, actually, as they start a week later than women's basketball. So, that being said, what do I think these teams need to do? I think that Duluth is going to need to come out swinging, need to set the tone early. I always say that, but it's such a big thing when it comes to basketball, being able to have a stronger mentality, being able to put a little bit of doubt in your opponent's mind pretty early on. I think they're going to have to be explosive on offense. Quick moves, good shots, choosing good passes as well to make in order to score the most points out there. Switching gears here to North Branch, actually. What do they need to do? Well, I think that North Branch needs to come out swinging, but I think they need to be locked down defensively. They need to be able to play well together and play as a well-oiled machine on defense. I don't quite know if they run a zone or man-to-man. I would assume man-to-man. But they need to be able to put together two good halves of defense and then answer on offense. So whatever that looks like for them, but they're going to need to get those tall guys in there and get some rebounds and get in transition points is always a plus for them. And then the biggest thing for both teams now, free throws. Free throws are huge in basketball. They're literally free points. As we saw in the last game, the North Branch girls went 3 for 12 on free throws. That's the last game, though. This is a totally different game, and I'm assuming that this game is going to be explosive and fast-paced. You're going to have to bear with me on the names for a little bit, but I'm super excited to call this game for you guys. Tonight we have this is a doubleheader match. This is a second match if you're just tuning in here on YouTube. My name is Mac Nelson with WCMP Radio. Doubleheader tonight, so these boys are playing immediately after the girls just finished up playing. And so it's a pretty packed gym behind me. And we are looking for an explosive match tonight between these two teams. It's going to be a good one. First section match for North Branch, not so much for Duluth Denfield. My apologies. Duluth Denfield, I've never heard about them before. But it's going to be a good matchup here. We have about a minute and 16 seconds here before we kick off this second game of the doubleheader tonight. So we're going to hear a word from a couple of our sponsors, and then we're going to get into the tip-off for this game after our national anthem. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on WCMP Radio.
Whoa, they've got what you need at the Pine City Freeway Holiday Station store. Right now, load up on deals like Red Bull 8.4-ounce cans, 3 for $6.50, Frito-Lay varieties, buy one, get one free, buy a fountain drink and get a Reese's King-Size candy bar for $2, and fill your propane tanks for $3.99 a gallon to get ready for hunting and frying that turkey. Open 24/7, 365. They've got what you need at the Freeway Holiday Station store in Pine City.
Hey there, neighbors. Matt Winsan, CEO Burnett Dairy. Farmers are the people that wake up before the sun, who battle the elements, and tend to their crops and herds with a passion that runs deep in their veins. At this time, I would personally like to thank the farmers. From all of us at Burnett Dairy Cooperative to all of our incredible farmers, thank you. Burnett Dairy Cooperative. Real farms, real flavor.
Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City. We're a full-service lettering shop with a full line of athletic supplies for any sport. We have professional staff here at Lee's Pro Shop to customize your orders. We are the pros who specialize in athletic apparel and equipment. We even do trophies and awards as well as computerized engraving in the store. Let Lee's Pro Shop help you with any athletic apparel. Lee's Pro Shop, servicing our communities since 1973, where the passion for sports begins.
Welcome back here to WCMP Radio. I'm Mac Nelson here in North Branch for the second game of this doubleheader between the North Branch Vikings and the Duluth Denfield Hunters. Interesting name, but all the same, we are going to be looking at our starting lineups here as they call them out on the floor. Starting for the Vikings, we have number 3, Tyler Mink, number 5, Ethan Thorson, number 14, Chaz Johnson, number 23, Vincent Dufek, number 32, Jacob Knospel. My apologies. Knospel. Looking down at the Duluth Denfield Hunters here, we have Marinaris Ferguson, number 1, Joshua Rock, number 4, Junior Brooks Lee, number 10, Carter Brown, number 11, and Nathan LaPlante, number 35. So as they call the rest of the starting lineup out for the fans here, I'm just going to correct my spelling here on that last name so I don't mess it up again. You're going to have to bear with me on the names here for this first half, as I have not seen either of these teams play before, but it should be an exciting section matchup between these two teams. Both teams are looking athletic. Both teams are looking ready. So hopefully this turns out to be a pretty solid game here as we're getting ready to get this game underway. Tip-off is about to begin. As we tip off, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We broadcast all sorts of local games for you. So if you're looking for one of them, odds are we're doing the game tonight. I think there's like 6 of us out there. I think there's 6 of us broadcasters out right now. A lot of games tonight. That being said, let's get this basketball game underway. Vikings coming out quick with it. Over to Vincent Dufek for the first play of the game. Hands it off to Knospel. Knospel over to Thorson. Thorson over to Johnson. Johnson back to Dufek, who drives in, gets it tipped. But the first points are going to be scored by Tyler Mink from the Vikings. Coming off with an early 2-pointer. Now as for Duluth Denfield, let's see what they can do. Lee is going to have it at the top of the key. He's looking to set up some kind of offense here. He's going to pass to the 45. It's going to go down low to LaPlante. LaPlante back up to Lee. Lee tries to get it inside, out to LaPlante for three. Going to be no good. Rebounded by Mink for the Vikings. In transition, over to Dufek. Dufek looking to do something with it. Gets double teamed. Passes it over to Mink. He's going to drive in, passes it to Dufek. Shoots it up for three. No good, but it's going to be rebounded by Thorson. They're going to call a foul on him for jumping over his back. Going to be called on number 5, Ethan Thorson, his first and the team's first of the game. Bringing up the ball for the Hunters is going to be Lee. Brooks Lee gives it over to Brown. Brown's going to shoot that for three. That's going to fall. He knew that one was good from the start. Quick in-transition play from the Vikings. Going to lead to a turnover, and Brown is going to get it for an easy 2 points in transition. Dufek trying to get the ball through the full court press. Gives it over to Mink. Mink gets it down the court to Thorson for 2 points. His first score of the game. And they're going to keep this game interesting, it seems. Number 4, Rock is going to have it on the 45. Passes it up to Lee. Lee's looking to set something up with it. Gives it over to Ferguson. Ferguson, cross-court pass to Lee at the top of the key, who cross-courts it to LaPlante in the corner for three. That's going to fall for another 3 points. Giving the Hunters an early lead to this game. They're going to get the ball down the floor very quickly. Trying to go up with it is Thorson. He's going to get blocked by Brown under the hoop. And in transition, it's going to get stolen back by Mink. Mink gives it to Johnson. Johnson to Thorson. Thorson tries to take it in, gives it out to Mink for three. That's going to fall. And it's a close game here, ladies and gentlemen. As Ferguson brings the ball up for Duluth, passes it over to Lee, who's going to drive baseline. He's going to quickly dump it off to Rock. Rock's going to give it to LaPlante, who's going to shoot that. That three-pointer is going to fall. And the Hunters are the first team to break double digits. Inbound pass is going to be given to Mink. Mink is going to pass it up to No Spell. No Spell over to Dufek. Dufek drives in with it. He's going to go up. No good. Rebounded by LaPlante. LaPlante gives it off to Lee to bring up. Lee gives it over to Brown. Brown's going to shoot that for three. It's going to bounce off the front iron. Rebounded by Lee, and he's going to lose his balance and run with the ball. Called a travel. In for North Branch is number 11, Kingston Draws. And the inbound to Dufek is good. Gets it over to Thorson. Thorson turns it over to Lee. And then in a bad pass there, he's going to give it off to Ferguson. Ferguson's going to give it to LaPlante. LaPlante's going to shoot that for three. It's going to be no good. The rebound is going to go to Rock, and he's going to miss the two-pointer. They're going to kick it back out to Ferguson for three. That one is going to fall. That one is going to fall. Into the game is Cole Abernathy for Duluth. Vikings bring up the ball quickly. It's given off to Draws. Draws takes it in, and he is going to miss the floater there. It's going to be rebounded by Lee. Lee is going to get it up to Ferguson, who's going to pass it back to Lee, who's going to give it to LaPlante. Two-pointer from the free throw line is going to be no good. Rebounded by Mink. Mink gives it off to Thorson to bring the ball up, gives it to Dufek. Dufek over to Thorson in the corner. Thorson to Dufek in the corner now. Drives in. Gets it back to Thorson. Thorson looking to set something up now. Thorson over to Draws. Draws with a quick jab. Tries to get past his defender. No good. Gives it off to Thorson. Thorson now driving to the middle of the lane. And ball's loose. And it's going to be picked up and given to Ferguson for a fast break layup. No good. Rebounded by Draws. Draws now bringing the ball up for the Vikings. Tries to get a full court, and he misses the layup. He gets around his defenders. Cherry picking is Ferguson. He gets the layup. That's going to be 2 points for Duluth. Now Vikings bringing the ball up. Dufek hands it off to Mink. Mink over to Draws. Draws gives it over to Johnson there. It's going to be no good. Coming into the game for the Vikings is number 2, Dooley Beaver. And coming in for Duluth is going to be number 24, Antonio Brown. Turnover by the Vikings early on is going to give Lee an easy little layup there for 2 more points. And they're off to an early lead here as Dufek brings the ball up for the Vikings. Passes it up to Thorson. Thorson drives down the middle. He's going to get caught up in traffic, and they're going to call a foul. They're going to call a foul on number 4, Joshua Rock. That's going to be his first and the team's first. Back in is going to be no spell for the Vikings, subbing in for Thorson. A little bit of cheap shots are going to be thrown. I wouldn't say cheap shots, but chippy play. Going to put a little pause, but inbound ball is going to go to no spell. Hands it off to Dufek, who's got double teamed over to no spell in the corner for 3. No good. It looks like we got a foul called here. Foul is going to be called on number 3, Tyler Mink there. It's going to be his first, team second tonight. Lee is bringing the ball up now. And he gets it over to Abernathy, who gets it down low to Brown, who gives it back to Abernathy, who gives it up to Brown. Brown is going to drive in and travel, and that's going to be a turnover. Looks like we got a full timeout called here by the North Branch Vikings. We're going to do the same, so don't go anywhere after. We're just going to hear a couple words from some of our lovely sponsors here on WCMP Radio.
A Lennox air source heat pump is a high-efficiency air conditioning unit that can also heat your home or business during the spring and fall. It's more economical than heating with propane. Have Dale's Heating and Appliance install your Lennox air source heat pump. Ask Dale's how you can receive up to $1,000 in rebates for your air source heat pump system. And ductless mini splits also qualify for up to $1,000. Visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare, information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Go online to pine.edu for more information. Pine Technical and Community College, connect with success.
Welcome back here to tonight's doubleheader second game with the North Branch Vikings and Duluth Denfield. I'm Mac Nelson here on WCMP Radio. Coming out to an early lead is the Hunters with an 18-7 lead with just under 12 minutes left in the first half. A quick turnover is going to happen on the full court press from Denfield. Looks like a foul is going to be called on number 14, Chaz Johnson. His first, the team's third. Inbound ball is going to go to Lee. Lee is going to give it over to Abernathy. Abernathy to Brown. Brown back to Lee. Lee to Hendricks. Hendricks over to Brown, or Abernathy, my apologies. Abernathy looking to do something with it. He gives it up to Lee. Lee is going to get it inside to Brown, who's their big man. Gets it back out to Lee, who's going to pump fake the 3. Good defense being played here. Shot goes up. No good. Rebounded by Johnson. Stolen back by Lee for an easy little pocket pick 2-pointer. So that's going to be another point. I think that's Lee's first points on the game. It's his second score for 4 points. Now the Vikings are going to try and get it down low. They're going to kick it out to Beaver for 3. It's going to be no good. Rebounded by Mink, given over to Beaver again, but it's going to be turned over to Brown there. He's going to get it down low to Lee. He's going to step out of bounds. It's going to be Vikings ball on that. Coming into the game now for the Vikings, number 10, Andrew Carnes. And the Vikings are going to try and get it up here. They're going to have to break this Hunters full court press, though. They seem to be pretty efficient at it, causing a lot of pressure and a lot of errors to happen. Dufek over to Johnson. Johnson to Mink. Mink down court. Going to be picked off, though. Given to Lee, who's going to take it in. He's going to actually lose the ball. It's going to be pickpocketed out by Mink. Ball is up to Dufek in the corner now. Tries to get the cross-court pass over to Nospel. Nospel gets it back to Dufek. Dufek trying to do something with it, drives into the middle, is going to be caught up, gives it to Nospel. Nospel over to Mink. Mink gives it back to Nospel in the corner, who dishes it off to Johnson in the side, and he's going to pump fake, but it's going to be picked off. He's going to come back down with it, and it's given up to Carnes, and he's going to go for the 2 and miss it, just barely. It's going to be rebounded there by Brown. Brown's going to give it off to Ferguson. Ferguson to Brown. Brown for 3. That's going to fall. Another three-pointer. Giving an early lead to Duluth. 23-7. Oh, turnover gets over to Ferguson. And he's going to put that up for an easy 2. As I was saying, the Hunters have a 25-7 lead over the Vikings on our Embrace Orthodontist scoreboard. As Dufek brings the ball up for the Vikings, they're going to call a quick little foul on Hendricks, his first and the team's second. Into the game now for the Vikings is Thorson. And it looks like LaPlante is also coming back in for Duluth. And Johnson will inbound to Mink. Mink for 3 from the corner, no good. Rebounded by Brown, and that's going to be a long down court pass. It's going to be blocked. Lee went up for it, and it's going to be brought back down by Mink. What a good block. All ball. Brown passes it into Brown. Going to be no good. Rebounded by Hendricks. Going to be no. Puts it back up for no good. Gives number 32. Nospel comes back with it. But it's going to be turned over again to Hendricks now. Hendricks to Lee. Lee for 2. Lee for 2. North Branch doing a great job of breaking this full court press every time. It's tough when you have a good team that can run a good zone press like this. Now Mink gets it inside to Johnson. Johnson in the corner to Nospel. Nospel for 3, going to be no good. Rebound missed. Picked up by Carnes. His 2-pointer is going to be no good. But Johnson's going to get it and put it up, and that's going to be good for the and 1. Foul is going to be on number 11, Brown, his first and the team's third. His and 1 is going to be no good. Rebounded by LaPlante. A little bit of miscommunication, but it gets given to Lee. And Lee, the point guard with it, trying to get something to work. Gives it to LaPlante. Back to Lee at the top of the key. Lee with it. Jab steps. Tries to go through, but he can't. Gives it up to Ferguson. Ferguson back over to Lee. Lee holding it at the top of the key, trying to set something up. He doesn't quite know what to do. He gives it over to Brown, who drives in with it. Tries to get it through Carnes' hands, but it doesn't quite go. He's going to get it give it off to Thorson. Thorson's going to Euro step. That's going to fall for 2 points for the Vikings. I don't think we can count them out quite yet. As Lee brings the ball up for Duluth, he passes it down low to Brown. Brown gives it up to Brown at the top. Brown over to Lee. Lee for three. Going to be no good. Rebounded by Thorson. Thorson to Johnson. Johnson to Mink. Mink for three. No good. Rebounded by Thorson. Thorson for three. That one's going to fall, though. Just like that, they are getting the momentum in their favor. As Lee slowly brings the ball up for Duluth Denfield, attempting to get something moving. Hands it over to LaPlante. LaPlante gives it down low to Brown. Brown gets it pickpocketed away, but it's going to come back in his hands. Gives it to Lee. Lee over to LaPlante for three. No good. Rebounded by Lee. He's going to put it back up for two. So now Mink is going to bring the ball up slowly but surely for the Vikings. As Carnes has it on the 45, gives it back to Mink on the other 45. He's going to do a little floater into the lane. That one's going to fall for two. Lee now bringing the ball up for Denfield. Gets it down low to Brown on the 45, I mean. No good for three-point attempt. Rebounded by Mink. Mink gets it up to Carnes. Carnes gets it down low to Thorson in transition for 2 points. You can't quite count these guys out. Lee now bringing the ball up. Timeout's going to be called by Duluth Denfield. We are going to do the same here on WCMP. We'll be right back after a word from a couple of our sponsors.
Whoa! They've got what you need at the Pine City Freeway Holiday Station Store. Right now, load up on deals like Heggy's Pizza, 2 for $16 with a new breakfast pizza available. Starbucks Frappuccinos are 2 for $7. Buy a fountain drink and get a Reese's King Size for only $2. And fill your propane tanks for $3.99 a gallon. Get ready for hunting and frying that turkey 24/7, 365. They've got what you need at the Freeway Holiday Station Store in Pine City.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden French fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
Welcome back here to WCMP Radio. I'm Mac Nelson, and I am in North Branch for the section game between the North Branch Vikings and Duluth Denfield Hunters. Hunters coming out with an early 29-16 lead over the Vikings, but the Vikings have been getting the momentum in their favor. Now the ball is inbounded to Lee for the Hunters. Lee gets it over to LaPlante. LaPlante gets it back to Lee in the corner. Thinks about shooting it. Going to be no good. Gives it over to LaPlante for three, and no good. In transition play from the Vikings coming now. They get it down low. He's going to be pinned against the backboard, though. That was Beaver for two. He's going to get his own rebound. And he's going to pass it over to Johnson, who's going to get hit in the face on accident, though. And a foul is going to be called on number 11, Carter Brown, his second, the team's fourth. So now Johnson will inbound the ball for the Vikings. Gets it out long to Beaver. Over in the corner is Mink for three. I couldn't see what was happening. The ref got right in my way, but Mink knocked down the three-pointer. And a foul is going to be called immediately coming back on Draws. As Lee brings the ball up now for Duluth. Gives it over to Ferguson on the 45. Back to Lee on the top. They're going to call another foul on Draws. That's going to be his second now, the team's 5th. Inbound goes to LaPlante. It's going to be batted away by Mink, though. That's a great defensive C. They tried it once before with Brown, and it almost worked. So he knew what was going to happen. He jumped up and poked that one away. Lee gets it into Ferguson. Ferguson for 3. No good. Rebounded by LaPlante, who's guarded heavily by Mink. LaPlante over to Lee. Lee inside to McKeon. McKeon out to Rock. Rock gives it to LaPlante. It's going to be picked away by Mink. What a great defensive play there. He gives it over to Dufek and gets it down the court to Beaver. Can't quite get the shot up. Dufek back with the ball on the 45. Gets it down low to Johnson. Johnson over to Draws. That's going to be in for 2. And now Duluth brings it quickly up the floor. Lee drives in, gets a little floater up. Not going to be good. Rebounded by Draws. Draws tries to get an up-court pass. Batted away by Lee. And he's going to put it back in for 2 points. Now Beaver with the ball on the 45. He gets it up to Dufek. Dufek over to Draws. Draws back up top to Dufek. Dufek trying to do something with it. Gets it in low to Draws, but he's going to be pinched by 2 defenders. He's going to get on the ground and fight for it. Mink goes up for 3. No good. Rebounded by Rock, though. Rock gets it up to Ferguson. Ferguson across to Lee. Lee to McKeon. McKeon pump fakes. Gets it up to Rock. Rock over to LaPlante. LaPlante for 3. No good. Rebounded by Ferguson, though. Ferguson over to Lee. Lee for 3. That one is going to fall. So now Beaver brings the ball up for the Vikings. Heavily guarded. It's going to be popped out from behind, but they're going to call a foul on Lee, actually. It's going to be his first and the team's 5th. Current score we have is Vikings 23, Hunters 34 with 2 minutes and 53 seconds left. Looks like we got a timeout called, so we are going to do the same, and we're going to hear a word from a couple of our lovely sponsors, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on WCMP Radio.
Embrace Orthodontics offers a unique specialized approach to orthodontic treatment with custom braces or Invisalign. The team at Embrace loves getting to know their patients personally and takes the time to make sure all your questions are answered. Their board-certified orthodontists use only the latest in modern technology to give you the best outcome possible. They work with your insurance company and offer flexible financing options to fit your budget. Call today to set up your free exam and see how Embrace Orthodontics can transform your smile. More online at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com.
Welcome back here. Yeah, big thank you to Embrace Orthodontists. They actually sponsor our scoreboard. So what you're seeing down there is our Embrace Orthodontist scoreboard for the night. Coming back here at the North Branch Duluth Denfield game. North Branch inbounds it to Mink. Mink with the full court press. He gets a nice pass up the floor to Johnson. Over to Beaver in the corner for 3. No good. Rebounded by Johnson. And he goes back up with it. No good. Tipped away by Carnes. It's going to be picked up by Lee. Lee is going to pass it up to Rock. Rock back to Lee. Lee back to Rock on the 45. Gets it in low to Brown. Brown's going to go up with it. He's going to get the foul, and that's going to fall for an and one. Who is the foul on? Foul is going to be on number 14, Chaz Johnson, his second, and the team's 6th. His free throw going to be no good, and picked up by the Vikings. They're going to quickly get it down the court. Carnes is going to pass it off to Johnson quickly. He's going to give it back to Carnes. He's going to go up with it. We're going to call foul. No shot on the floor. Foul's going to be called on number 1, McNaris Ferguson, his first and the team's 6th. Back into the game is No Spell. A little bit of confusion on the court, but we're getting it sorted out here as Carnes inbounds the ball to Dufek. Dufek tries to go by, can't quite do it. I guess pulls it up for a little bit of a floater, no good. Rebounded by Brown. Now Lee brings the ball up, quickly passes it to Rock, who gives it back to Lee, who gives it to Brown, who goes for a little jumper at the elbow. That one is going to fall for him. That's going to be another 2 points for him. Quickly the ball is passed up to Carnes, who gives it to Dufek. Thinks about the three, going to be not attempted. Gives it back to Thorson, who's going to try and go up with it, but they're going to call jump ball. So possession will be switched here. It's going to be given back to Duluth Hunters here as Lee brings the ball up. Slowly but surely, he will bring the ball up. It looks like North Branch is in a bit of a 2-2-1 zone. Little floater from Rock is going to find its way into the basket. That's going to be 2 points. His first of the night. Quickly up the court is Dufek with the ball, who gives it off to No Spell, who puts it up for two. No good. Rebounded by Mink. Tries to get it out there to Carnes, but it's going to be no good. Picked up by Ferguson. Gives it down low to Lee. Miscalculation on the pass, and it's going to roll out of bounds. The score tonight is currently 40-23 on our Embrace Orthodontist scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontist custom Lightforce braces are Invisalign clear aligners with 3 locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. Learn more at embracemn.com. Nospel tries to go up with it, and he is blocked by Brown, who quickly goes down, gives it off to Rock, who gives it over to Brown again. He gives it over to Ferguson, who shoots it up for 3. That's going to be no good. Rebound attempt by Brown is going to send it out of bounds. And Dufek inbounds the ball to Carnes here, who's going to bring it up, easily breaking the full court press. But once again, the half court is where it gets dangerous. He finds a man down low, and Thorson isn't going to quite be able to put it down. Rebound is going to be picked up by Rock. He's going to hand it off to Lee. Lee bringing the ball up here, gives it over to Brown. Brown gives it to Rock, who's going to go up with it. Not going to be good. Rebound by No Spell is going to give it over to Carnes. Carnes taking it up for the Vikings. Passes it over to No Spell. No Spell gives it to Thorson, who's going to knock that down for a quick 3 points. This team can shoot, that is for sure. Under a minute left here, actually 15 seconds left. So they're going to try and get something to go here for Duluth. Can they do it? Lee looks like he's trying to get one shot. 5 seconds. Gives it over to Ferguson. Back to Lee. Lee to Rock. Rock down low. It's going to be kicked away by No Spell, and that's going to be halftime. So that first half looks like we are coming in with a score of Duluth Hunters 40-26. So we are going to hear a word from a couple of our sponsors, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the halftime recap here on WCMP Radio.
Hey there, sports fans. Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City, and we have a Lee's Crazy Sale going on. It's time to gear up for hockey, basketball, wrestling, or volleyball equipment, as it is all 20% off. That's right, 20% off all your favorite hockey, basketball, wrestling, and volleyball equipment. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, Lee's Pro Shop has everything you need to take your game to the next level. So don't wait. Stop by Lee's Pro Shop today. Save big on your favorite sports equipment. Hurry in for Lee's Crazy Sale. Lee's Pro Shop, where the passion for sports begins.
Dale's Heating and Appliance, your local heating and appliance expert, is committed to making your family's comfort their top priority. And now you can add water softeners to their list of expertise. Dale's now offers water softener sales or rentals along with installation, service, and salt delivery. So if your home needs quality water, make the call to your already trusted experts at Dale's, or just visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. dalesheatingandappliance.com.
Arrowhead Transit, your community, your ride. Arrowhead Transit is proud to support this station and bring you reliable public transportation in your community. Whether you need to get to work, school, or the doctor's office, our friendly drivers and comfortable buses are here to serve you. We're committed to connecting communities and making transportation accessible for everyone.
Arrowhead Transit is your community partner in getting around. Arrowhead Transit is a supporting sponsor of the station and is dedicated to supporting our local communities.
At Burnett Dairy Cooperative, we're more than just your local dairy. We're also a trusted propane provider, serving homes, farms, and businesses across northwestern Wisconsin and east central Minnesota. Whether you need a tank installed or reliable delivery, we're here for you 365 days a year with flexible options that fit your needs. As a farmer-owned cooperative, we're committed to supporting our community because your home and farm deserve the best. Call 715-689-1032 to learn more. Burnett Dairy Propane, serving you with pride every day of the year.
Welcome back here for the halftime report from none other than Mac Nelson himself here on WCMP Radio. Looking at some of the stats from the game so far, 6 fouls for the Vikings to the Hunters, 6 fouls. 6-6 on the fouls. It's a pretty reasonable thing. Looking at some score here, Tyler Mink is coming in with 10 points in that first half. Ethan Thorson is coming in with 12 points. Chaz Johnson with 2, and Kingston Draws with 2 as well, giving them their 26-point total for the first half. Looking down at the Duluth Denfield Hunters, my apologies. Starting off with Mariners Ferguson coming in with 9 points. Joshua Rock coming in with 2. Junior Brooks Lee coming in with 11. Carter Brown coming in with 12. Nathan LaPlante with 6. So that will bring them up to their 40-point total. Just about 7 minutes left in halftime here. My thoughts on the first half: I thought it was explosive. I thought it was very entertaining. Both teams have some very athletic people on their team, so seeing them go battle it out head-to-head, seeing who can get the rebounds and the fast breaks and just good basketball is really hard to come by. So seeing both teams play this well, it's an enjoyable game to cover for sure. Fast-paced games are definitely way more fun to play or to cover as an announcer. So we are going to take another little sports break, or a little sponsor break here, because we love our sponsors so very much. They're the reason we have jobs. So we're going to give a listen to them, and then we'll be back right before halftime starts. So don't go anywhere. We're just listening to some of our sponsors here on WCMP.
If aches and pains are holding you back, Wellia Health is here to assist you. Our sports medicine team is dedicated to getting you back to your passions. With extensive experience and expertise, we specialize in managing concussions, a worry for both young athletes and adults. Whatever the injury, let's get you back in action with an appointment at Wellia Health. Call us today at 320-679-1313 or conveniently schedule through your MyChart account. Visit welliahealth.org for more information.
Whoa! They've got what you need at the Pine City Freeway Holiday Station Store. Right now, the Pine City Holiday Station Store off 35 has got a quick meal on the go for you. $3 gets you a hot snack or hot dog, chips, and a Polar Pop. $4 for a breakfast sandwich, hash brown, and medium coffee. Or $5 gets you a personal pizza and a 20-ounce Pepsi. Get snacking. Open 24/7, 365. They've got what you need at the Freeway Holiday Station Store in Pine City.
Pine Insurance Agency and Grinnell Mutual are dedicated to a season of cheer. We wish you a very happy holiday season and the joy of spending time with family and friends. It is our gift to serve you, now and in the future. Celebrate this holiday season and trust in tomorrow. Contact Pine Insurance Agency, your local Grinnell Mutual agent, at pineagency.us today, or call 320-629-2515 for all your insurance needs. Trust in Tomorrow is a registered trademark of Grinnell Mutual Reinsurance Company.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Need reliable energy? Burnett Dairy Cooperative has you covered with top quality propane services. Whether you're heating your home, running your business, or firing up the grill, our propane is safe, efficient, and always dependable. Choose Burnett Dairy Cooperative Propane, your trusted partner for all things energy. Stay warm, stay powered, stay local.
Welcome back here to North Branch for tonight's section matchup between the North Branch Vikings and the Duluth Denfield Hunters. So we are currently in halftime, and I wanted to take a second here to talk about Santa's Hotline that we will have going on coming up next week. So the annual Santa's Hotline is coming up Friday, December 13th. Have your little ones call in and talk to Santa himself. Joshua Myron and Santa will be live on WCMP and KBEK Friday the 13th from 6 till 8 p.m. 320-629-7575 is the local number to talk with Santa. That's 320-629-7575. It's a pretty cool thing that we're doing there, talking to Santa. It's pretty cool. I don't know how Josh managed to get him in because it is his busy season now. So he managed to. If you have a little one, send them our way and talk to us. Talk to Santa out there. So if you're just joining us, my name is Mac Nelson here on WCMP Sports. And at halftime, the score is currently North Branch 26 to Duluth Denfield 40. But neither team should be ashamed at all about how they played that half. It was a very exciting first half. And I do apologize, we don't have video tonight. It's only audio, so you just are forced to listen to my play calling. But I hope I'm not doing too terrible for you guys here tonight. But no, it's a very, very exciting, very explosive game. Both teams are very athletic. Both teams are very quick. And so I'm excited to see how this one shapes out. I'm assuming it could be a pretty close game. But that being said, some things need to happen in order for it to be a close game. Starting off with North Branch. They're doing a really good job of breaking that full court press that Duluth is currently running. So if they keep doing that, they're going to be able to get some good transition points. One thing that they got to do is keep a clear headspace. There's some chippiness. There's some words being thrown around out there. We can see it from all the way over here. So they just need to, clear their heads. They need to make sure that they remember it's just a game. And sure, it feels good to get a big block, but keeping a clear head and being able to play your best basketball is a huge thing. It's a huge way to win games is having a good headspace. So that's what I think they need to do. I think they need to slow it down a little bit too. There's been times where they get really good looks, and then they try and give a little dish-off pass to get someone else a point, and it just ends up in Duluth's hands. Speaking of Duluth, going over to them, talking about what they need to do, what they have been doing well. Duluth is a very explosive team I've seen. They're able to move quickly in transition. They're able to see guys up the floor. So if they just keep doing that, they should be pretty solid out there. As for their weaknesses, I think they also need to clear their headspace. They're doing a lot of chippy, a lot of words thrown, a lot of that sort of thing, and that's never good for a team. It's one thing when you're doing really well, but this isn't a blowout game yet. So they need to come together and play just a really good second half of basketball out there. That being said, we are about to get this second half underway with North Branch starting off with the ball. Johnson is going to pass it in over to Mink. Starting out top. He's double teamed. Cross half court. He's going to get it down to Nolson. No spell, my apologies. And he's going to get it back to Mink, who's going to get it over to Carnes. He's going to get it to Thorson, who's going to shoot it for three. It's not going to fall, though. Rebounded by Ferguson, who's going to get it down low to Brown, who's going to get an easy down look to Rock, but he's going to miss the layup. Rebounded by Mink. Mink is going to get it up to Thorson here. Thorson's going to look back at Carnes for it, but he's going to end up giving it to Johnson. Johnson fumbles it a little bit. He's going to drive in, gets a shot up, though. So that's going to be 2 shots for Chaz Johnson here. Foul is going to be called on number 4, Joshua Rock, his second and the team's first of the half. Chaz Johnson at the line now. First free throw's no good. Free throws could make a difference in this game, so. And the second free throw. That one is going to fall. Going to score a nice singular point, but a singular point is still a point nonetheless. Quick in transition play is going to open up an opportunity for Rock to hit a three-pointer. He's not going to quite get it, but the rebound is going to being tossed around. There's 4 guys on the ground. It's going to end in a jump ball. I couldn't even keep up with what was happening. The ball was bouncing off of kneecaps, heads, hands. So it ended in a jump ball. That's all that matters. So it's going to be Duluth Denfield's ball as Rock is going to pass it in here. He's going to find Lee. He's going to give it over to Ferguson. Ferguson looking to do something with it. Gives it back to Lee on the top of the key. Lee tries to get it down to LaPlante. It's going to be picked off by Carnes, who's going to get it over to Mink. And Mink is going to quickly give it up to Nospel. My apologies. And he's going to turn it over with a little spin move. It's going to be grabbed by LaPlante, and it's going to be given over to Lee. Lee to Ferguson. Ferguson now with the ball. He gives it over to Rock in the corner, looking to drive with it. Gets up there, no good. Rebound by Thorson. Thorson to Mink, Mink to Johnson. Johnson gives it back to Mink. And they're going to call a jump ball. And that was Thorson, my apologies. But they're going to call a jump ball. So now Johnson is going to pass the ball in for the Vikings. He's going to give it to Mink, who's going to shoot the three. That's going to fall. That's a great shot from Mr. Mink tonight. His first of the second half. Lee quickly brings the ball up. The Vikings are in a 2-2-1 zone defense. They're going to get it inside to Brown. He's going to give it back to LaPlante. He's going to go under the basket with it, and that's going to be 2 points for Duluth. LaPlante's first points of the half. First points of the half for Duluth, actually. Carnes is going to bring it up and give it down to Nospel. Nospel dribbles it around, gives it back to Carnes. Carnes looking to do something with it, gets it plucked out by LaPlante. Carnes over to Nospel, who gets it down low to Thorson, who's going to go up for 2. No good. Gets his own rebound, goes up again. Foul has been called. 2 shots for Ethan Thorson. So foul is going to be on number 35, LaPlante, his first of the game. And the team's second. His first free throw is not going to fall. However, he does have another one. Steps up to the line. Shot goes up. No good. Rebounded, though, by Mink, who gets it out to Johnson, who gives it back to Mink. Mink drives with it, cuts back out, and they're going to call a foul there on Lee, it looks like. Yes, it's going to be his second and the team's third. Inbound goes to Carnes. Carnes with it now, looking for something to do with it. Guarded by Lee. Drives into him. That's going to fall for 2 points for the Vikings. 2 points from Carnes, his first of the game. What a good time to do it. Ferguson with the ball now for Duluth. Gets it up to LaPlante. LaPlante with it. Looking for a screen from Brown, and he gets it. Then it's going to be passed and lost. Brown's going to save it from going out of bounds, but it's going to be grabbed by Carnes. Gives it to Mink. Mink to Nospel. He's going to put it up for 2. Don't count these guys out yet. Nospel's first points. Lee brings the ball up. Gives it to LaPlante. LaPlante looks in for Brown. Brown with the spin move. Goes up with it. That's going to fall for them. They are keeping it interesting. Brown with another 2 points here. And Nospel brings it up. It's going to be plucked out, though, by Brown. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to remain Vikings ball. Score is 44-34. Vikings are trailing by 10 here in the second half on our Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. In now for the game is Dufek and Draws, who both played some pretty significant minutes in the first half. Draws now with the ball. Gives it off to Johnson. Johnson over to Thorson. Thorson drives it. He's going to get fouled, though. And that was an aggressive foul. Foul's going to be on number 1, Ferguson. It's going to be his second. Third, actually. My apologies, I missed one. His third foul. In for Duluth is going to be Abernathy. The pass comes into Thorson, who goes up for 2 and is tripped, but no call is made. Lee gives it to Brown in transition, and that's going to fall in for 2 from Brown. So now Johnson gives it to Dufek. Dufek gives it over to Thorson. Thorson back to Dufek. Dufek drives with it. He goes up, but wraps it around and tries to give it to Johnson, who expected him to go up with it. Don't quite know what he was doing, but Draws comes up with it and makes a nice little floater drive into the middle. It doesn't even matter. They make up for it. That's going to be 2 points there. And then the three-pointer is going to be hit by Ferguson in transition. What an incredible shot. Both teams are swinging with full force on offense right now. 3 rebounds of his own shots for Dufek. That's going to be his first points of the game. And now Lee over to Ferguson on the 45. He pulls back for a long 3, not going to fall. Rebounded by Thorson. And then there's going to be a foul called on Rock. It is getting heated in this gym, ladies and gentlemen. Inbound pass goes to Dufek. Dufek bringing the ball up, drives in hard on Brown, goes up with it, blocked. And it's saved by Brown as well. An aggressive jump ball attempt from Rock and Draws, but Duluth is ultimately going to come up with it as Lee gives it over to Brown on the 45. Brown with it. And they're going to call a foul, it looks like. Not 100%. Number 23, Dufek. It's going to be his first, the team's first for the half. As Lee inbounds the ball, gives it out to Abernathy. Brown, my apologies. Brown goes up with it. No good. He's going to be blocked. And they're going to call it on Dufek, it looks like. Yep, looks like it's going to be on Dufek, his second and the team's second for the half. So it looks like Brown will be sent to the free throw line for his first attempt at points. His first free throw is going to trickle in, bringing them up to 50 points on our Embrace Orthodontist scoreboard. His second free throw is also going to fall. So now in for the game is No Spell again. He subs in for Thorson. Now as Johnson inbounds the ball to Draws. Draws to Dufek, trying to break this full court press. 2-1-2. Inside to Johnson. Down low to No Spell is going to be off the knee of Brown there. So it remains Vikings ball, and Johnson will inbound it for the Vikings. Gets it to Mink coming down. No good. Rebounded by number 33, Adam Bartkey. No. I have no idea. He is not on the roster. At least not for me. Picked off by Mink on the defensive play there. He's going to give it to Draws, who's looking to shoot it. Didn't quite get it off. Gets it across court to No Spell. He's going to shoot it for 3 from the corner. No good. Rebounded by Lee. Lee is going to bring the ball up here. He's going to give it off to Brown, and he's going to trip and fall. There's going to be a missed travel call there. Lee is just going to hold on to it here. Gets it out to Rock on the wing. He gets it down low to number 33. It's going to be picked away by Mink. Oh, and he's going to barely dribble it out of bounds, so it's going to remain Duluth ball. In for the Vikings is Carnes. And the inbound play will take place here as Lee inbounds it for Duluth. He gets it to Rock. Rock looks inside to 33. He tries to go up with it. Gives it back out to Rock, who's going to shoot it for 3 in the corner. No good. Rebound goes to Brown, and he's going to put it back up for 2. Dufek brings the ball up. Gives it to Nospel, who drives in. Does a post move. It's going to get blocked, though. Rebound goes to Brown. Gives it to Rock. Rock up to Ferguson. Ferguson drives. And they're going to call a travel on Ferguson. Into the game is going to be LaPlante for Duluth. As Johnson inbounds it to Dufek. Dufek now bringing the ball up. Gives it over to Mink. Mink over to Carnes. Carnes back to Mink, thinks about it, gives it back to Carnes. Carnes looks to do something with it. Over to Nospel, tries to get it inside to Johnson, but it's going to be tipped and snagged by Lee, who is going to bring it down the court. He's going to try and set up something. Slow movement all around here. Over to Rock, over to LaPlante in the corner. Looking inside for Brown. Brown gets it, no good. Tipped up, it's dancing on fingertips. No good. Another shot goes up. Mink ultimately comes down with it. Gives it up to Carnes. Carnes to Nospel in transition. Gets it across to Dufek. Out of his hands, though. Causing a turnover. That was a textbook play in transition. Under 10 minutes here now to go. The Hunters lead 53-38 on our Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard down there. As Lee brings the ball up for Duluth. Gets it down low to 33. Goes up with it. No good. Gets his own rebound. And they're going to call a foul, so he is going to the line to shoot 2. Foul's going to be on 14. Chaz Johnson. Going to be his 3rd. The team's 3rd. First free throw is going to be no good. Into the game is number 0, Jackson White, for Duluth. Second free throw goes up. That one's going to fall. Further extending their lead. The full court press is brought back. They get it to the middle. Out to Carnes. Back up to Mink. Mink over to Nospel. Nospel tries to drive in with it. Gets it over to Carnes in the corner. Carnes back to Nospel. Nospel into Johnson. Johnson over to Dufek in the corner. Thinks about it. Doesn't do it. Drives in. Gets it to Nospel, who's going to dabble around some defenders. Back to Mink at the top of the key for 3. No good. Rebounded by no one. Is going to go out of bounds. And they're going to call a short timeout here. And we are going to do the same. We're going to hear a word from a couple of our sponsors. Don't go anywhere, though. We'll be right back on WCMP Radio.
Your journey to smile with your forever starts at Embrace Orthodontics. The team at Embrace is committed to providing world-class care and a remarkable orthodontic experience. Choose between custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge, and a plan to fit your budget, whether you have insurance or not. Embrace Orthodontics will make your smile journey comfortable, convenient, and customized just for you. Visit EmbraceMN.com today to find out how to set up your free exam. EmbraceMN.com. Embrace Orthodontics, a smile you will embrace forever.
All right, checking back in here at this section matchup. Before we get back to it, I'm Mac Nelson on WCMP Radio. A little bit of info on some other games going around. Pine City leading against Aiken 26-25 in their matchup. But we're worried about this game, aren't we? So as Duluth brings it up, it's going to get picked off by Carnes down low. Gives it up to Mink. Mink to No Spell. No Spell to Dufek. Shoots it from the corner for 3. No good. Rebounded by LaPlante, and it's going to be given to Lee. Back to Rock to bring up now. Rock looks, gives it to LaPlante. Over to Lee. Lee thinks about it. Gets the screen, gives it to LaPlante. LaPlante back to Lee. Lee's thinking. Doesn't quite know what to do. Gets in over the top pass to Rock. Over to White. White down to Rock, down low. Goes up with it. Little floater over the top. That one's going to fall. 2 points for Rock. His first of the half. Mink over to Dufek. Dufek inside to Johnson. My apologies. Johnson to Mink. Mink back to Johnson. Johnson and No Spell is going to drive with it. Gives it to Dufek. Slips it up a little bit. Gets it out to Mink. Mink for 3. No good. Rebounded. Given to Lee, who gets it up the floor to White. Is going to go up with it through 2 defenders. No good. Rebounded by Johnson. Johnson gives it to Mink. Mink to Dufek. Dufek now. Gives it to Carnes. Carnes over to Mink. Mink drives in. Tries to get to the basket, but he's going to be stopped on the floor. Foul will be called on number 33. I don't seem to have him on my roster, so I apologize. I don't quite know his name. But almost a whole line change coming out from Duluth. Coming in now is Abernathy, Brown, Ferguson, and Hendricks. Mink gets it on the low. Goes up for it. He's fouled. That's going to be 2 shots for Tyler Mink now. Foul is going to be called on Cole Abernathy, his first. Team's 7th of the half. First free throw is going to fall for him. Second one's also going to fall. And the lead gets shorter. Full court press being broken well here by Duluth. Brown has it on top, tries to get to Ferguson. It's going to be picked away. There's a tussle on the ground, and it's going to be a foul called. And it looks like it's going to be on Carnes for his first. Under 7.5 minutes to go here. Hunters have a 56-40 lead over the Vikings. Ferguson with the ball now. Gets it over. Sorry, my apologies. Gets it over to Hendricks. Hendricks gets it down low, and there's 2 points. It's fast. No Spell gets it. He tries to go up with it, but they're going to call a foul on the ground before he can shoot it. Doesn't matter, though. They're in the bonus. Foul's on number 11, Carter Brown. That's his third. And here comes the bonus. First free throw's up. That's going to fall. First one falls for No Spell here. He goes for the second one. That one's not going to fall. Rebounded by Brown. Brown over to Ferguson. Ferguson down to Abernathy. Abernathy to Ferguson. Ferguson into Hendricks. Hendricks down to Abernathy. He's going to go up under the backboard. That's going to be good for 2. In transition, Carnes gets it, goes up with it. Too hard off the glass, though. Going to be no good. Rebounded by Brown. Brown gets it down low to Hendricks. Hendricks over to Ferguson in the corner for 3. No good. Dancing on fingertips. Rebounded by Thorson. Thorson up to No Spell. No Spell over to Carnes. Carnes looking something to do. In this zone defense, it's tough. Carnes over to Thorson. Thorson back to Carnes. Carnes all the way over to Mink. Shoots it for 3. No good. Rebounded by Ferguson. Gets it down low to Hendricks. He's got defenders. Goes up with it anyways. Blocked at the basket by Thorson. No good there. But then the passes are tipped up, and Brown ends up with it somehow. Gets it over to Ferguson. It's Duluth ball. Gets it down low to Abernathy. Abernathy into Brown. Brown tries to go up with it. He's going to get the push off, though. Foul called. Push off. Offensive foul on number 24, Brown. My apologies. Antonio Brown. So it will be North Branch ball. In for North Branch is Beaver. And draws. Draws the inbounder. Gets it to Mink. Full court press being applied here by Abernathy and White. Draws, almost slips up, and Ferguson almost gets it, but he dribbles in for a little floater. No good. Rebounded by Hendricks. Hendricks with the ball up the court. Gets it to Ferguson. Ferguson over to White. White for three. No good. Tipped by Mink. Rebounded by Mink. Mink gets it over to Nospell. Nospell gets it to Beaver in the corner. Thinks about it. Does a little shot fake. Gets it to Nospell. Nospell hands it off to Mink. Mink looking what to do. Guarded heavily here. Nospell thinks about it. Beaver in the corner. Drives in. No good. Pass is going to be tipped. Pass up to Ferguson is good. He gets it up. That's good for two. Inbound to Draws. Draws bringing it up for the Vikings. Under 5 minutes now. Vikings. Draws gets it to Mink. Mink tries to drive in, gets it to Nospell. Nospell to Thorson. Thorson dribbles into trouble, and they're going to call a jump ball again. They're going to call that jump ball again as Thorson drives in. Now in for Duluth is going to be Lee again. Ferguson to Lee. Lee to White. White down to Abernathy. Abernathy up with it. Blocked at the backboard. Mink with the rebound. And there's a foul going to be called on Abernathy. His second. And Mink will be going to the line. I think Mink is probably the best person that you want at the line right now. Score is 62-41 on our Embrace Orthodontist scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontist. Leave with a smile you will embrace forever. Find out more at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com. And the first free throw from Mink is going to fall. Second free throw is going up. And it's good. It's good. That's going to... They're trying to get that lead narrowed down. Dufek is back in the game now for Mink. And North Branch is running their full court press. Into Lee. Lee to Abernathy. Abernathy to White. White for three. Almost blocked, but still not going to quite land in there. Nospell gets it over to Dufek. Dufek down court looking for Thorson. It's going to be picked off by Lee. People are falling everywhere, but Hendricks is going to come up with it. Lee, Ferguson for three. That one's going to fall. What an incredible course of events I just witnessed. Dufek brings the ball up for the Vikings. Over to Draws. Draws. Dufek sets a screen for him. Tries to get him to use it. Can't quite. Dufek gets fouled, though, by Lee. That's going to be his third. Never mind his second. My apologies. Must have given it to the wrong player. Dufek will now shoot two free throws because he's in double bonus. First one will fall. Mr. Unnamed is back into the game. Number 33, that is. Dufek now with his second bonus. Free throw is going to fall. That's a nice 2 points for the Vikings. Now as Duluth brings it up here, timeout's going to be called. It's just going to be a sub timeout, though. So we're going to keep it here as a little bit of discussion goes on. Sub timeout so they can get some players rotated in. But I imagine both teams have got to be pretty tired. under 4 minutes now as the Hunters lead 65-45 here in the second half. That's on our Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Down low here to sorry, I was looking at names and there's a turnover. Dufek goes up with it, and he's going to miss the layup, though. It's going to be rebounded by 33, given to White, who gives it up to Lee. He's going to go up with it, and there's going to be a foul called. Foul's going to be called on number 2, Beaver, his first. That's going to send Lee to the line here. His first free throw's up. No good. Going to trickle out. And his second free throw here. That one's also no good. Rebounded by number 33. He's going to put it back up for 2. So now Beaver gets the inbound from Dufek. Beaver back to Dufek. Dufek drives in with it. Foul and 1 for Vincent Dufek. That was a great play. He kept that far and long. So that's an opportunity for a 3-point play here from Dufek. Into the game is going to be Bo Hibbard, number 12, for North Branch. And his and 1 is good. 3-point play from Vincent Dufek. Quick transition ball movement here, trying to break that full court press. Duluth gets it in, gives it up top to Hendricks. Hendricks gets it into 33. 33 turns back and goes up with it. It's going to get plucked out, though. And it's going to go off of 33. It's going to remain. It's going to change sides to go Vikings basketball. Under 3 minutes now. 1 second under 3 minutes, I should say. Draws brings the ball up for North Branch. Tries to dribbles in. Does a little back cut. Hibbard gives it to Mink. Mink for 3. That's going to fall for 3. And a timeout is going to be called immediately after that Mink 3-pointer. We're going to do the same. We're going to take a quick timeout and hear a little bit from our sponsors, but don't go anywhere. This is WCMP.
Whoa, they've got what you need at the Pine City Freeway Holiday Station store. Right now, load up on deals like Red Bull 8.4-ounce cans, 3 for $6.50. Frito-Lay varieties, buy one, get one free. Buy a fountain drink and get a Reese's King-Size candy bar for $2. And fill your propane tanks for $3.99 a gallon to get ready for hunting and frying that turkey. Open 24/7, 365. They've got what you need at the Freeway Holiday Station store in Pine City.
Hey there, neighbors. Matt Winsan, CEO Burnett Dairy. Farmers are the people that wake up before the sun, who battle the elements, and tend to their crops and herds with a passion that runs deep in their veins. At this time, I would personally like to thank the farmers. From all of us at Burnett Dairy Cooperative to all of our incredible farmers, thank you. Burnett Dairy Cooperative. Real farms, real flavor.
Welcome back here to WCMP Radio. I'm Mac Nelson, and we are covering the North Branch Vikings and the Duluth Denfield Hunters as they get a wide open in transition bucket for 2. And now North Branch brings it up. Draws, gets it out to Beaver. Beaver back to Draws. Draws, jab steps, tries to drive, gets it to Beaver for 3. Going to be tipped and rebounded by number 33. And given to White now. White tries to get it to Ames, but no good. Tipped away by Beaver. Inbound to Hendricks. Hendricks to Ames. Ames over to McKeon. McKeon back to Hendricks. Into 33, down to McKeon. No good. Gets his own rebound, drops it in for 2. His first points of the game. Dufek brings it up here, gives it to Mink for a long 3, no good. Rebound is going to go to McKeon. He's just going to take it down himself. He's going to get hung up, though. Double teamed. Gets it out to Hendricks. Gets it into 33. Bobbles in. It's going to be grabbed by Dufek. Dufek dribbling through traffic now. Gets it off to Beaver. Beaver to Hibbard. No good for the three. Rebounded by Draws. Goes up before it. Blocked. And rebounded by White. White gets it up to Ames. Ames to White. White back to Ames. Ames for three. That one's going to fall. For his first points of the night. Now to Beaver for three. No good off the bank. Rebounded by Draws. Goes up with it. Blocked heavily by Hendricks. Gives it to Ames. Ames down, my apologies. Gives it to McKeon. McKeon down to Ames. Ames back to McKeon. No good for the 2-point. And then Hibbard is going to go ahead and dribble it out of bounds on accident while trying to break the full court press. 47 seconds left in this game tonight as Mink subs out of the game. It was a great performance from him with quite a few points there. Now down low to McKeon. McKeon is going to get that in for a nice 2 points. Nice easy 2 points for him. As Dufek comes up and shoots the three in transition, no good. Gets it to McKeon's rebound, and he's going to bring the ball up. 20 seconds left. Gets it to Ames. Ames looking about it. Gets it to 33. Sees Hendricks. Takes it himself. That's going to be good for another 2. They are just stretching this lead. 7 seconds. 5. He goes up for the reversal. No good. Rebounded by 33, and that's going to be the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Your final score from North Branch Duluth Denfield Hunters is going to be North Branch Vikings 51 to the Hunters 78. Don't go anywhere. We have a post-game wrap-up to do with me, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after hearing a word from a couple of our sponsors right here on WCMP.
Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City. We're a full-service lettering shop with a full line of athletic supplies for any sport. We have professional staff here at Lee's Pro Shop to customize your orders. We are the pros who specialize in athletic apparel and equipment. We even do trophies and awards as well as computerized engraving in the store. Let Lee's Pro Shop help you with any athletic apparel. Lee's Pro Shop, servicing our communities since 1973, where the passion for sports begins.
A Lennox air source heat pump is a high-efficiency air conditioning unit that can also heat your home or business during the spring and fall. It's more economical than heating with propane. Have Dale's Heating and Appliance install your Lennox air source heat pump. Ask Dale's how you can receive up to $1,000 in rebates for your air source heat pump system. And ductless mini splits also qualify for up to $1,000. Visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare, information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Go online to pine.edu for more information. Pine Technical and Community College, connect with success.
Welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to the post-game wrap-up. I'm Mac Nelson here on WCMP YouTube. If you're joining us now, go ahead and give a like and subscribe so you can catch all of our future games here. But we're going to do a little bit of post-game wrap-up with the Duluth Denfield Hunters and North Branch Vikings tonight. So, looking at some stats from both teams here. Point totals, Tyler Mink is coming in with a whopping 18 points. Ethan Thorson is coming in with 12 points. Chaz Johnson with 5. Vincent Dufek with 7. Jacob Nospell with 3. I think that's more like 5. My apologies. Kingston Draws with 4. And Bo Hibbard with 2 there at the end. Actually, there was also... No, yeah, Kingston Draws with 2. My apologies. Moving on to the Hunters, looking at Ferguson scored 15 points, and Rock scored 4 points total. Lee scored 11 points total. Brown scored 16 points total. LaPlante scored 2, and then a bunch of miscellaneous scores from a bunch of other players. Going on now, an interesting stat that I have to look at here is, of course, the free throws. Totaling up everything between these two teams, North Branch Vikings ended 9 for 15 on free throws. They got to the line roughly 7 times, you could say, I would guess. But 9 for 15. They shot 15 free throws and only made 9. It's not a very good percentage, but we'll make it work. As for Duluth, they only shot 5 free throws the whole game and made 2 of them. So, I mean, do with that what you will. It's a little bit better percentage, but it's still nothing crazy like that. As for the game, my final thoughts on it all, I think it was an enjoyable game. I think both teams were very explosive and very exciting. And I think that Duluth Denfield is going to be a pretty solid team to watch out for this season for sure. In this section, I would have to agree. But I wouldn't count North Branch out just from this one loss. I think they both played very well. And I think North Branch did a lot of good things, and I think Duluth did a lot of good things as well. So both teams I'm looking forward to hopefully doing some more games with them in the future. And, so lastly, I just want to say a big thank you to you if you're still listening here at the end. The post-game wrap-up is kind of where we get to share our thoughts and, be a little human with you. So we appreciate you staying this long. As I was saying earlier, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel here if you want to catch some more games. We do all the local games here at WCMP, whether that be on WCMP, KBEK, Nice 95. We do it all. So if you're looking for a game, go to our website at WCMP.com, and that has our schedules and everything and stuff like that. One more time for the night, though, Santa's Hotline. The annual Santa's Hotline is coming up Friday, December 13th. Have your little ones call in and talk to Santa himself. Joshua Myron and Santa will be live on WCMP and KBEK Friday the 13th from 6 till 8 p.m. 320-629-7575 is the local number to talk with Santa. That being said, a huge thank you to all of you listening. You are the reason I have a job. Also, a huge thank you to our sponsors on the night. Without them, I wouldn't be able to also do this job. I mean, they're able to work with us, and they're a great team that we work with. So thank you so much to our sponsors. Thank you to all of you listening. You're the reason I have a job. And ladies and gentlemen, I also want to say thank you because this was my first solo game, and you guys stuck with me, so I do appreciate it. Hopefully you'll be hearing more of me in the future. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Mac Nelson from WCMP Radio signing off. Have a great night, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa! They've got what you need at the Pine City Freeway Holiday Station Store. Right now, load up on deals like Heggy